Colorado High School Activities Association football is on Morgan County's B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network this afternoon from Legion Field. It's the opening round of the Class 3A state tournament as the Fort Morgan Mustangs, the number 3 seed, entertain the 14 seed Green Mountain Rams. I'm John Beltran with Kevin Rohde and Brian Nickel as the Mustangs go into this game off a nice winning streak. They won their 3 games in a row, and it's something I just mentioned, Brian, with Ty Davies at the end of this conversation. 4th consecutive home game, and this could be the weakest of the 4 opponents, considering that they played 3 ranked opponents prior to this game.
Yeah, this is, I'm not going to say it's going to be an easy game. No games are easy. But as far as competition, they're going to be a step down from what we saw in the last 3 games, that's for sure.
Kevin, 8 turnovers the last 2 games. That's all. I mean, Fort Morgan, if they lose, they're going to beat themselves based on what's happened recently.
Right. I think any team that makes it to the top 16 is going to be able to take advantage of it.
Let's take a break, and we'll come back with a kickoff of today's game right after this on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Number 4.
Back with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. I'm John Beltran. A few minutes away from the start of this game between Green Mountain and Fort Morgan in the opening round of the 3A playoffs, with a winner to take on the Frederick Warriors, which routed Pueblo County last night. So Fort Morgan wins. They would return right here to Legion Field for a 5th consecutive home game. First things first, this Green Mountain team, Brian, we know is as the wind, you can hear it kicking up a little bit. This Green Mountain team certainly is young. They have no seniors among the skill position players. Fort Morgan's got to take advantage of that lack of experience.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, and they like to run the ball, so this wind isn't going to hurt them any today. So they have 5 players with over 200 yards apiece, and then one I think with like 148, but he has like 7 rushing touchdowns. So I don't know if he's their go-to guy when they get down to the end zone or whatever it is, but could be. But I got to take advantage of that inexperience, and with this leadership we have on this Mustang team, they should be able to do that.
Well, and Kevin, one thing we've seen in recent weeks, and even last week, Holy Family was held to about 10 points till late in the game. That Fort Morgan defense, which was a little bit shaky, and you talked about bend but don't break. They still have some of that, but it seems they've been playing some better football. And at this time, if you're going to get deep into the playoffs, you're going to have some offensive mishaps, but you got to come up big on the defensive end.
Yeah, you can't have letdowns, and you got to play team defense. Everybody's got a role to play. They got their own duties, and that's one of the nice things about a Josh Langford coach defense is they're always ready to go out there and play as a team. That's what I like about them.
And Brian, let's expand upon special teams as well, because that has really taken off the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they've done real well on the real great, I should say, on the special teams. That's for sure, with the returns for touchdowns. And that's the third part of the game. You've got to excel in that, and the Mustangs are doing that right now.
And we know now that the looks like the Mustangs will receive the opening kickoff here. And Green Mountain is not a team designed to come from behind.
No, they average 203 yards a game and only 48 in the air. So if they get behind, it's going to be a tough game for them.
All right, so the Mustangs in their maroon uniforms with the gray pants, and Green Mountain in the white jerseys. Didn't it used to be the opposite? The home team would wear the light colors,
yep.
And way back in the day, because Fort Morgan now in recent years, but I think back when we were in high school, the home team, Kevin, would wear the light uniforms.
Well, not having the advantage of age that you two have, I don't remember that. It's always been home wears the darks. I know in basketball it was always the other way around. And but anyway, yeah, I don't know whether it seemed like maybe Green Mountain deferred on the toss because they wanted to have the choice of the wind. And Fort Morgan's going to be going into the wind, and it's a pretty steady wind right in the face of the Fort Morgan offense. But as we've talked about, they're pretty balanced, and when they do throw, it's not always long, and I think it won't have much of an effect on Fort Morgan.
Right. Opening kickoff is brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Another outstanding sponsor here of Morgan County Athletics. And to kick it off for Green Mountain is Gabriel Marquez. Ortega and Fajardo back deep to receive. This is a short kick. It's going to be fielded at the 17-yard line. Fajardo to his right across the 30 and right down at the 31-yard line. A return of about 14 yards, and that's the way this one starts here for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. And the one thing we know, that when Fort Morgan scores, they've had 3 touchdowns this year, including one on special teams of over 90 yards. Massive big playability for the Mustangs. The quarterback is Briggs Wheatley. Looks like Chase Redding is the receiver to the right. Marquez and Fajardo to the left. Pistol formation from the 31-yard line. And again, up to the line of scrimmage. Then they'll receive play instructions from the sideline on the first play for Fort Morgan from scrimmage in the 2021 postseason. Wheatley is going to hand it off to Ortega. Nice hold up the middle to the 40. Along the left side to the 45. With 1 to beat along the left sideline at the 30. Looking for a block. Cuts it back. And he's down at about the 21-yard line. That's the way to start it for the Mustangs. A gain of 48 yards and a first down.
Yeah, nice hole up there on the front there. The offensive line opened up for him, and he went right through it.
Yeah, and typical of Frankie, once he ran into that secondary, he did a little jitterbug move, and he was out and going.
At the 21, handoff, Ortega jitterbugging. He's down after a short gain to about the 19. He was tackled by Austin Contreras, just a sophomore again. A young football team here, and the Mustangs taking advantage. 2nd down and 8 to go. So already 50 yards on 2 carries for Ortega. Just inside the 19-yard line. Well, they'll give him the 18. We'll give him 3 yards there. 2nd down and 7 at the 18. Wheatley will hand it off to McCoy, running to his left. He's held up, but he's able to lunge to the 15-yard line, running laterally to his left. Nice job by Levi McCoy. And already Frankie needed a rest there because he had a long run there. 3rd down and 4 to go for Fort Morgan with a football at the 15-yard line of Green Mountain. They're not wasting any time here. They want to score in the first minute of the game.
Yeah, they want to get Green Mountain out of the game early.
And there's a cannon that fires after a touchdown, by the way. After the extra point, I think. That's what I was told.
We'll find out here.
I forgot about it every time last week. 3rd down and 4 for the 15. Shotgun formation. The running back to the left of the quarterback. That's Ortega. And Wheatley keeps the football off the fake. And he stutter steps, runs along the sideline, and he's out of bounds. He's short of a first down. There was not much blocking there. Maybe to the 13-yard line. Zach Wallace with a penetration.
We have an injured player. You don't see this very often, a cornerback getting blocked by a wide receiver, and he's down writhing in pain. Like maybe and it's not his knee, because if it was his knee, he wouldn't be.
No.
Maybe he fell backwards and put an arm out. And
yeah, that's not good. He got to the 13-yard line for a gain of a couple.
Yeah, from what I can see right away, it looks as though Green Mountain is sitting in a 4-3 base defense, so that means that they got four defender deep guys back in the secondary. So it looks like they're not going to let us beat them with the pass. They're going to force us to run, which fortunately for the Mustangs, we're pretty good at. So
well, they're calling for the ambulance, gentlemen. This is not good.
Yeah,
and you know that the result of this game doesn't matter as much as the health of the players. I mean,
absolutely.
that's regardless who they play for. And there's no doubt he is writhing in pain out there, whoever the young man is for Green Mountain. And I don't know if it was that much of a contact injury. I don't know. You rarely look out there away from the ball, that far away from the ball, because the line of scrimmage was the 15, and Wheatley ran along the left sideline. This is closer to the right sideline at the 8-yard line where the Green Mountain player's down. And, you have to wonder, was that a contact injury?
The only thing I can think of is, like I said, maybe he fell backwards and put his arm out and fell awkwardly and maybe dislocated his shoulder, broke his forearm or his clavicle or something. Hopefully nothing that serious, but the way he's kicking in pain certainly looks like it's something pretty serious.
Well, there's no doubt that he's out for the game just based on that, even though, again, that is of little consequence right now. We're going to take a little break here, the winner of this game to take on the Frederick Warriors. We're in the opening quarter. And the Mustangs got the ball at their own 31-yard line, a 48-yard run by Frank Ortega, followed by a 3-yarder, a couple of more carries, one by McCoy, one by Wheatley. The Mustangs face a 4th and 2, but we'll take an extended break, and we'll come back with this opening round 3A playoff game from Legion Field in Fort Morgan on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. All right, the injured player is still being attended to, and he's actually up on his feet. Wow, that's impressive. Let's see. Let's see if we get a number. I thought I saw 5 out there, but I'm not sure. Yeah, we thought for sure that he was going to be placed on the stretcher, as we've had an extended break off a 3rd down play, but walking off on his own. I was told it was an arm injury. Significant. At least that's what I overheard. Gentlemen, let's see if we can get a number over there. I thought I saw 5, but not sure.
I haven't been able to see him number yet. He's surrounded by all the personnel.
But that's great news. The fact that he's just, regardless of the injury, you're not being placed on a stretcher.
Yeah, if it was 5, it's a sophomore cornerback, Max Chobian.
Yeah, Chaboyan, if that's him, but I'm not sure. All right, the ball is at the 13-yard line. Should be a 4, but they have to realign the chains. The chains are a mess right now. They're not even being picked up.
That's because the volunteer firemen were out assisting medical care.
Right. No, I get that. So I don't even know why they're at the line of scrimmage. They should be probably huddling right now because they're not going to be. They won't be back until we get those chains in order, and until the player has exited the premises. It's a 4th down and 2 for Fort Morgan on the opening drive of the game. And about 10-16, hard to see. Brian, you're going to have to help me there because
10-16 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, with first of all, my angle, which is not good, and second of all, you got the sun beaming out here on a little bit of a windy day.
Yet it's a beautiful day with the wind.
Yeah, the game time temperature, 64 degrees. Here we go. Firefighters are back. Chain gang is back. Same guys. 4th and 2 for the 13. Wheatley 5 yards behind center. Probably will take it himself. They like to keep it in Wheatley's hands on 4th and short just to make sure because he's got options. It's 4th and a short 2 from the 13. Wheatley will hand it off to Ortega. First down across the left side inside the 10. Might have got the 9, but that was simple power football by the Mustangs. And it's a 1st and goal. They'll give him the 9-yard line for Frank Ortega. That's his 3rd carry now for 55 yards.
Yeah, nice job by that offensive line to open that hole up for him just enough to get that 1st down.
Well, a nice running game last week for Frank Ortega. Went over 130 yards on 1st and goal for the 9. The running back to the right of the quarterback. This will be a keeper by Wheatley to the 5-yard line. Then he's pile-driven right there at the 5 for a gain of 4. 2nd down and goal. That's the 2nd carry of the game for Briggs Wheatley on a drive that started at their own 31-yard line. You've already had one huge play, the 48-yard run by Ortega. 2nd down and goal for the Mustangs. And hopefully this offensive performance can carry over to the defense. Nice crowd along the other end here behind the goalpost on the opposite side of where Fort Morgan is traveling. On 2nd and goal, Wheatley will hand it off to Ortega, stutter stepping back towards the middle inside the 5 to about the 3. Gain of 2. And taken down by a couple of the Rams, including Nate Navas and Zachary Westland. Westland a senior, Navas a junior. 3rd down and goal at the 3.
Green Mountain able to pack in a few more players into the box as you get close to the goal line.
Hand off to Ortega right up the middle. He's going to be short. I think he's right at the goal line. Right at the goal line. But yeah, they're going to have to bring players up, Kevin. If not, it's going to be tough for Green Mountain to stop the Fort Morgan running game.
Right.
Well, we'll give him 2 yards since he didn't get the full 3. But it's 4th and goal. I'd almost go under center here. Yeah, Wheatley, let's see. Is he going to go under center? No. Let's see. Now he's under center. Wheatley in a 4th and goal. And what do we have? A timeout called by Green Mountain?
Yep.
And it is. Well, this is a huge play already. 3 minutes into the game, Brian.
Yeah, it is. And Green Mountain had it packed right over the center. They had brought their linebackers right up over the nose, right up over the center. And if Wheatley was planning on going up the middle, I don't know that he would have made it.
Yeah, but when you bring your linebackers up, they're in that position. Your center's going to be able to get underneath them. Wheatley's going to be coming out low. I think if you want to pack the middle like that, you need to get some beef down on like a 3.4 point stance.
What do you think? Maybe a quick snap or just conventional? Sometimes the quick snap can backfire.
Right. I think I would just come up and have them ready. I mean, I don't know how the coaches here are, but the fact that we always look over to get that thing, you can use that as a weapon. And if you come up and go under center and then stand up like you're going to look and then immediately go back under center and snap it, I think you could surprise them.
The more time that elapses between that and the snap puts a lot of pressure on the offensive lineman, so nobody moves.
Yeah.
Because that would change the whole thing. You got 4th and inches right now inside the 1 yard line on the opening drive of the game. Wheatley now is standing at the 5 yard line of Green Mountain awaiting the snap. He'll take it to his left, and he's into the end zone easily, right between his left tackle and left guard for the touchdown. That was the way to run the play, and the Mustangs are on the board. It's 6-0 with just over 3 minutes and 40-some-odd seconds elapsed here in the opening quarter.
And like you said, now it's the defense's turn to see if they show up and play as well as the offense just did.
First things first, the extra point to be attempted by Brandon Marquez. Off the hold of Charlie Langford. The snap, the kick, and that is up, and that one is inside the left upright. It's good. We have 8:15 to go in the opening quarter. Fort Morgan 7, Green Mountain nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. First score of the game brought to you by Buildings by Design, the best in the business. That is Buildings by Design. Check them out at buildingsbydesign.com. A 69-yard drive for the Mustangs. They had a couple of 4th down conversions, so it wasn't easy, but Briggs Wheatley scores from a yard out, and Fort Morgan with a 7-0 lead. Now it's time for the special teams. This might be the weakest aspect of the special teams is covering kickoffs, Brian.
Yeah, and they're going to be kicking right into that wind, so we'll see if they're just going to try to scoot it along the ground or what they're going to do.
Jose Mosqueda will actually hold the ball down at the 40-yard line. You expect a squib. Nope, this will be a little pooch. And the ball is going to be fielded at the 33, and there was a wind to that, and it was just taken by a mountain ram, a Green Mountain ram, and then he just fell, and that was George Sapi. So they started pretty good field position at the 33 and expect a lot of running here from this Green Mountain offense. As Brian documented, they got quite a few guys over 200-300 yards this season, including the leading running back here, which is Noel Dacris. Not sure how to pronounce that last name, but he's only a sophomore. The quarterback is Zach Wallace. And he's in a shotgun formation. The running back to his right from the 33-yard line. He has the football. There's the handoff, running left behind a blocker, and it's a loss there for Dom Sanchez, a junior, stacked up by the right side of the Fort Morgan line. As looks like Levi McCoy came in to throw him for a 1-yard loss and a couple of others. 2nd down and 11 yards to go for Green Mountain.
It's a good first play. I like the way Fort Morgan's got 5-man line up there. They know that they're going to have to run, so they're not too worried about the passing game.
Some big splits, though, defensively as well. 2nd down and 11. There's the swing out to the right, and not much running room. There's a huge loss. Man, tremendous penetration, a loss as the ball was given to Dalton Poulignot. And what a play there by Timothy Paxton. A loss back to about the 26-yard line. So the loss is going to go for 6 yards. 4th down and about the 3rd down and 17.
Yeah. Certainly not the way the Green Mountain coaches wanted to get their offensive day off to a start, but I'm sure they'll regroup and try and come up with some other plans.
Well, I didn't see much blocking out there. There's not any blocking, nothing you can do. They got to get to the 43, 3rd and 17 from the 26. Running back to the left of the quarterback in a shotgun. Wallace back to throw. Here comes the pressure for the inside, rolling to his left. He's going to throw on the run over the middle. It's going to be intercepted by Ortega at the 45. Then laterals to Fajardo. Fajardo had a knee down at the 46-yard line. I'm not sure that was a wise decision there by Ortega. He wanted some extra yardage, but knowing what the Mustangs can pull off, that might actually work as good as a weak punt by Green Mountain. So it's now at the 46-yard line of Fort Morgan off the first turnover of the game, the interception by Ortega.
And I see why they don't throw much right now.
Well, across your body, that's a tough one.
Yep.
First and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 46, 7-0. We have 6:41 to go in the opening quarter on the 1-yard touchdown run by Wheatley. On a fourth down, they had 2 fourth-down conversions. You'd like to get through first and second and third down easier than that. From the 46, Wheatley's going to roll to his left. Great blocking there. Throws along the sideline, complete underneath to Fernando Marquez. And Fajardo is the trail receiver about 4 yards behind Marquez. I'm almost wondering, was that intended for Marquez or Fajardo?
Well, I thought it was intended for Fajardo the way he was acting, but we'll take the yardage, whatever it is.
It's a gain of 6 to the 48-yard line of the Green Mountain Rams. Pistol formation this time on 2nd down and 4. Looking over again towards the sideline for the play instructions with the Mustangs up by a touchdown. 2 receivers split out to the right, 1 to the left. That's Chase Redding to the left. From the 48, Wheatley awaiting the snap is going to hand it off to Ortega. Stutter stepping back to the middle, first down, and he's driven back at the 42-yard line for a gain of 6. And Frank Ortega just looking for that hole. He's just that one split second away from breaking it big. Tackle was made by George Soppy. And the Mustangs continue to move. That's already the 6th carry for Ortega for 65 yards.
He wanted to come out for a blow.
Yeah, he kind of got his legs bent over backwards in that pile.
Yeah, but he looks okay. But, yeah, he wants to stay healthy for next week. You're right. Yeah, he's kind of favoring it at the 37-yard line here on the sideline. On 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line, man in motion. This will be a gift to McCoy running to his left. Across the 40, grabbed around the ankles at the 39 for a gain of 3. As the hit was made by Zach Wallace. 2nd down and 7 to go as we approach the latter minutes of the opening quarter with Fort Morgan up 7-0 on the 1-yard touchdown run by Briggs Wheatley on a 4th and inches. Yeah, I mean, look at Frank along the side. Man, this guy, he is built like a house. I mean, a strong lower body. Tough to bring down, but again, when it's 3 or 4 against 1, then you better just go down and not absorb the contact. That's why he's still not at 100% over there. On 2nd down and 7 from the 39-yard line, direct snap. Wheatley keeps it himself. He's got a little hole up the middle, then backs to about the 34 for a gain of 5. And again, a lot of individual tackles we're seeing here from Green Mountain. Wallace in on the hit, along with Nate Navas, a junior. They'll place it towards the 33, so give him 6. 3rd down and a yard. Are they going to quick snap it? Nearly some movement up the middle there from Green Mountain, but they stayed back there as we are inside of 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter on 3rd and 1 from the 33. McCoy is still in there. Wheatley will keep it, run to his left, and he slams into defenders. He's got a first down. They got to blow that whistle. Thank goodness he was being carried, almost piggyback there in the opposite direction, as Austin Contreras made the hit, a gain of 2.
Contreras, solid 6'1", 190.
Oh, yeah, he picked him up. I mean, I've seen that type of activity at a bachelor party. So it's at the 31-yard line. It's been a while, though. It's been a while. And at my buddy Jay's wedding back in 2001, but they usually use the chairs. They put them on chairs, and they carry them around like that. 1st and 10 from the 31. Trips to the right, 1 to the left. That's Marquez. By himself is Wheatley. And again, looking over towards the sideline for all the signals. 3 different coaches relaying signals, but there's a method to that, and the method has worked this year. At the 31, Wheatley, 3-step drop to his left. Pass is complete to Marquez. Makes a cut to the 20, and his knee was down, though. If his knee is not down, he could have kept going. It's a gain of 8 to the 23-yard line. 2nd reception for Marquez on the 2nd pass thrown by Briggs Wheatley. They're making it look nice and smooth so far.
Yeah, it is. It looks real, as you said, smooth. It just looks real even. Looks like they're not in a rush.
Crisp, yeah. Well, that's it. You got to be patient. If the game slows down, you play the game well. On 2nd down and 2 for the 23-yard line. Redding is out to the right. To the left are Marquez, and Fajardo's the inside receiver on the slot. Behind the left tackle is Ramirez. There's a reverse pitch to Fajardo running to his right. He's got nowhere to go. He's going to be thrown for a big loss. He's going to be driven back still on his feet, but it took about 3 or 4 mountain ramps to bring him down. There is a flag down at the 20-yard line. That'll be a loss of about 10 yards, man, but you're calling a hold all the way away from the football, but it's a loss of 10. You're right, Kevin. It's going to be declined, and that was just that backfired tremendously on Fort Morgan.
That's the first miscue we've really seen on Fort Morgan, both sides of the ball and special teams. So let's see how they respond and get out of this.
Well, it's a 3rd and 12 at the 33-yard line as the clock continues to move here late in the first quarter with Fort Morgan up by a touchdown. But now you're going to definitely have to pass the ball. I mean, they took a risk there, a 2nd and short into a 3rd and long on a play we have not seen all season, not at least run like that. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 3rd and 12 from the 33. Rolling left is Wheatley. Backside pressure, still rolling, throwing, incomplete. It's off the hands of Ortega at the 25-yard line. And this should be 4-down territory on a 4th and 12 for the 33. First incomplete pass thrown by Wheatley. But again, all set up by that 10-yard loss taken on that reverse to Fajardo.
Yeah, that was just a really good job by number 26 for Green Mountain out there on the edge. Made Fajardo turn back in, and they had good pursuit coming back in from the inside.
Yeah, that's their leading running back. Dacre is also a safety for this team. On 3rd and 12, now 4th and 12, I should say. Trips to the left. 1 to the right from the 33-yard line. Fort Morgan has made a season of converting 4th downs. A screen is set up over the middle, and it's incomplete off the hands of Ortega at the 33. Well defended by Austin Contreras, and Fort Morgan did not sell that one well at all. I think Wheatley didn't disguise it long enough.
Right.
So this will be Green Mountain football. Yeah, if you're going to throw a screen, you have to disguise it. You can't give it away that early.
Yeah, they weren't well, some of the guys were coming through, but there was still a bunch of them that were right there at the line of scrimmage waiting for it.
So Green Mountain has the ball with some momentum, even though they trail 7-0. We have 2:35 to go in the first quarter in this opening round 3A playoff game with a winner to take on Frederick, which routed Pueblo County last night, a 6 beating in 11. There's the snap and a misdirection running right and a nice hole across the 35 to about the 38-yard line for Anthony DeGrazia. Before the hit is made, a gain of close to 6. 2nd down and 4. David Keller, one of the Mustangs, in on the hit.
Found a little seam off that left side of the defense.
On 2nd and 4 from the 39-yard line. Green Mountain went 3 and out on their first drive. Well, actually, they didn't. It would have been 3 and out, but the interception by Ortega gave the ball to the Mustangs in great field position. On 2nd down, there's a pass, a lateral out to the left, and that is caught, but Marquez going to make the tackle maybe at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a run to Dalton Polignot. And let's see, is there a penalty marker down? There is. Hopefully that was not at the point of the tackle by Marquez because it's a no-gainer.
Yep, that is a face mask.
Well, that'll give them a first down. Now, is it a 5 or a 15? Marquez went too high there. That's the problem. You got to go lower than that.
Oh, it looks like they're going to march it off against them.
The face mask. Well,
so maybe on a stiff arm.
Yep, he reached out and grabbed the face mask of Marquez, apparently.
Yep, and they're and it was a personal foul face mask, Brian.
He must have twisted him. Huh. And you don't see that very often on the offense with a 15-yarder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be at the 24-yard line, but it's still, that'll be a run by Polignot for no gain. But now it's a 2nd down and 19. They've got to get to the 43-yard line with one running back out of the shotgun. Back to throw. Out to the right. Wide open. There's no Mustang out there. Along the sideline at the 30. That's going to be a first down to the 45. Now towards midfield at the 47-yard line. Where were the Mustangs defensively? Caught by Dacres.
Yeah, that was just really nice wheel pattern that they had. Dacres run coming out of the backfield, and Fort Morgan didn't have that contingent covered, and see what happened.
It's a gain of 29. I mean, quite frankly, that was awful defense. That's a missed assignment there.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
How do you not account for the leading running back? And there was nobody out there. You would have thought there were 10 players on the field. 1st and 10 for Green Mountain at the Mustang 47-yard line. 1 minute to go in the opening quarter of this 3A playoff game. 7-0 Fort Morgan. Inside handoff and a gain of maybe half a yard. That's a nice tackle by Campa. And that ball was given to Dom Sanchez. We'll give him a yard. 2nd down and 9 to go. And normally when the collapses have occurred for Fort Morgan, they haven't been off the opposing team's passing game. They've been on the running game because the secondary's been so good. But that really isn't secondary play right there when you're talking about what Kevin mentioned, a swing pass. 2nd and 9 for the 46-yard line of Fort Morgan. Man in motion. Wallace, there's that lateral again on that pitch. There's running room to the outside of the 40. A 1st down along the sideline to the 30. And to about the 23-yard line. Fajardo's helmet goes flying, and that is Dom Sanchez again. And where was that line of scrimmage, Kevin? Brian, I almost lost my...
48.
Yeah, for the 48. To the gain of 23, but that will be again. That's a run, because that's a pitch behind the line of scrimmage. It's a two-handed pitch. That's why it looks so awkward. Man in motion. There's the other two-handed pitch. That's Sanchez again along the left sideline behind blockers. Inside the 20 to about the 19. The Mustangs are not there to make the play, and they're taking advantage, swinging it to the outside and bouncing it that way. And it's a gain of 5, 2nd down and 5, and they have found, Kevin, a little bit of a gap in the Fort Morgan's defense.
Yeah, I think as coaching staff, they're going to keep going to that until Fort Morgan figures out an answer to it. And usually what happens is when the defense finds an answer to that opens up something else somewhere else. So, and that's what coaches get paid to do, is work on those things.
11.8 seconds to go. 2nd and 6 for the 21 of Fort Morgan. There's a pass out, caught in the right flat with 1 to beat, and nice tackle there, an excellent tackle, and going down hard was Dalton Polignot, as it was an open field tackle. That's the end of the opening quarter with the score Fort Morgan 7, Green Mountain nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 7-0 Fort Morgan as we head to the second quarter. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde over Green Mountain in this opening round 3A playoff game. But it could have been 14-0. It looked like they were going to go in for a score where this change was that 2nd and 2, the 10-yard loss by Fajardo on that reverse. Had that been an option pass, that would have gone super wide open, but because there were like 5 or 6 Green Mountain players out there. And since then, Green Mountain has had positive plays on virtually every play. 3rd down and about 4 to go at the 20-yard line. There's the inside handoff, misdirection, 1st down to the 15 and lunging to the 14. Nice play there. That's Anthony DeGrazia. And the Mustangs not there. It's a gain of 6. And they are now deeper into the red zone. And Fort Morgan is in trouble here defensively as Green Mountain is looking for the equalizer.
Yeah, that was the first time we'd seen that play today, and it worked pretty good for them for 6 yards.
Well, remember, they have 2 common opponents. Holy Family beat Green Mountain 28-6. Fort Morgan just beat Holy Family by 19. Conifer was a 14-point loser to Green Mountain. Fort Morgan beat them by 5 touchdowns, but it doesn't mean anything now. 1st and 10 for the 14. There's a handoff running left. That's Sanchez. Too many Mustangs out there, but he gets around the traffic and is able to gain positive yardage. Maybe just a yard to the 13, but that could have been a 5 or 6 yard loss as Ortega and McCoy were out there. It's a gain of 1, but that's not a good play for Fort Morgan. It could have been a lot worse for the Rams.
Yeah, it looked like they're going to leave it about the 14, so it looked like a no gain. So,
but even still,
yeah, it should have been a loss.
Yeah, one of the big old defensive linemen for Fort Morgan didn't realize he had to turn the play back in and kind of overstepped and let him get outside of him.
2nd down and a short 10 to go, just inside the 14 of Fort Morgan on the left hash mark. Opening minute here of the second quarter, 7-0 Mustangs in a shotgun formation as Wallace. He'll take it, run to his left, behind traffic, and then he's thrown down by Marquez, maybe for a half a yard. That's a great open field tackle by Marquez. 3rd down and 9 yards to go off the 1 yard pickup. First carry. Wallace normally doesn't carry the ball much, Brian.
No, not too much, but he will carry it though. So
No, he's a threat.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They have a lot of threats on this team. You've already seen it with
5 of them that are over 200 yards a game, or 200 yards in the season.
3rd down and 9 from the 13-yard line. Receivers split each side. Wallace will hand it off to Sanchez. He's going to be thrown down for a loss. An excellent play. Marquez was in there, but the hit was made by Colin Duckworth, a junior, for a loss of a yard. 4th and 10. Sanchez with his 6th carry.
Looks like they might be trying to
Field
field goal.
Well, the kicker, Marquez, did look pretty good in warm-ups.
You got a stiff wind to kick into.
And this will be, let's see, they're counting off the yardage. The holder is Blake Westland. It'll be a 31-yard attempt, kicking left to right. And that's exactly where it should be. The line of scrimmage is the 14. You hold it at the 21. Big field goal attempt right here to make it a 7-3 game. Awaiting the snap. And the snap is perfect. The kick is up, and that kick is going to be, looks like it's way off to the right.
Yep.
And even a little bit short. Got way too much trajectory, not enough line drive, and the field goal is no good. With 8:59 to go, second quarter, but Fort Morgan's got to open things up a bit here on offense and score. It's only their 3rd possession, so the time has run by rather quickly, even though we had a significant injury early in the game to a Green Mountain defender.
Yeah, when both teams are utilizing the run, the game tends to go a little bit faster.
Yeah, and part of that because we expected wind conditions to be affecting the game, and it certainly did there. 1st and 10 for Fort Morgan. It's at the 20-yard line. You miss a field goal inside the 20. Well, anywhere in high school football, it's automatically the 20 off a missed field goal the way it used to be the NFL decades ago. 2 receivers split out to the left. The running back Ortega's to the left of the quarterback Wheatley. On a 1st down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Wheatley scored the only touchdown of the game inside of the 1-yard line. There's the handoff to Frank right up the middle, but he runs into a slew of defenders, breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet, but they're going to blow the whistle at the 25-yard line. 2nd down and 5 to go. The one thing Fort Morgan was early in the season was a second-half team, but you're not going to feel good if it's only a 7-0 game going into the locker room.
Right.
Yeah, they need to get some more points on the board here. You don't want to let Green Mountain stick around here and let them think that they've got a chance to win this game.
70 yards for Ortega on 7 carries. On 2nd down and 5 to go for the 25-yard line. Fort Morgan was in that hurry-up offense early, but now they're in their normal set. Trips to the right, 1 receiver out to the left. Wheatley standing at his own 20-yard line. Rolls out to his right against his body. He's going to have to set up. Now reverses his field and goes down. That's going to be a sack as Wheatley slipped. And he's down at the 15-yard line for a loss of 10.
Sack on the play at the 15-yard line.
And that's credited to the player that was closest to Wheatley. There were a couple there for Green Mountain, and this is rare that the Fort Morgan offense, which was looking smooth and crisp, now has been coming out flat after that 10-yard loss by Fajardo that we referenced earlier.
It looked like they were setting up for a pass play on this side, and it just wasn't open.
3rd down and 15 from the 15. Pistol formation. Ortega's 8 yards behind center. Wheatley back to throw to his left underneath. Caught by Marquez. He dropped it. You got to catch the ball first, Fernando. Man, he's done that more than once this season. That could have been a big gainer. You catch it, you go up the middle. I think he would have had a 1st down there. There was a seam up the middle, but he drops the ball, and there's one reason he dropped the ball. He didn't try to catch that at all, Kevin, with his hands.
Yeah, he let that get into his body, and he was already looking downfield.
Yeah, you just can't. You can't afford a mistake like that. And now Ortega will stand at his own goal line to punt. And Green Mountain right now really is outplaying Fort Morgan since that opening touchdown by the Mustangs. But Fort Morgan does have a 7-0 lead. Awaiting the snap. Perfect snap. Frankie gets it off. That's a gorgeous spiraling punt. They're going to call fair catch. No, it's fielded at the 41. And down right there off the open field tackle by Charlie Langford is the returner, Dalton Polignot. And that was just outstanding. That's a punt of about 41 yards by Frank Ortega. Then it went back to the 30. They should have given him forward progress. I don't think that's a good spot for Green Mountain, by the way.
Well, Frankie got hit after he kicked. the official just waved it off like he thought he was faking it. So,
Well, that's not the first time that's happened this season where he got roughed up and no call was made. 7:13 to go, second quarter. Still a ball game here, a 3 versus a 14. Green Mountain trails 7-0. They have picked up a couple of first downs in this game from the 36. Out of the gun, handoff to Sanchez, running right, down after a 2-yard carry. That's because Jimmy Keller grabbed him around the ankles. And they're working Sanchez pretty hard here. His 7th carry of the game from the 38-yard line, middle of the field, second down and 8 to go.
and I got to give kudos to our defensive line and our whole front. You know, to me, it looked like that was a lot longer run than just a 2-yard run. And that's because our defensive line is just moving the line of scrimmage back. So he was 3-4 yards past the line, the defensive lineman when he went down.
Second down and 8 for the 38. Man in motion to the right. There's the pitch right, and there's a seam to the outside, but grabbed from behind around the ankles is Keller again as the tackle was made. I believe that was DeGrazia. It was at the 39-yard line. Or no, further than that, check that, 44. So it was actually a decent carry of 6 yards, but it could have been a heck of a lot worse if Keller doesn't grab him at around the 39 before he tumbled forward.
Yeah, they're finding some room out there on that outside edge. And they're going to have to figure that out here before long, just to how to keep him from keep that outside run from working.
And meanwhile, Green Mountain is doing an excellent job of shortening this game as we're approaching the midway point. We are through the midway point of the second quarter. 7-0 Fort Morgan, 3rd and 2 for Green Mountain at their own 44-yard line. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers split each side. Sanchez is in motion to the left, and there's the inside handoff. That is Sanchez. Polignot was in motion. First down along the right sideline across the 45 to the 41. Man, a gain of 15 and a first down for Green Mountain, and they are continuing to operate rather efficiently here.
Yeah, had a missed tackle in the backfield or would have prevented that first down from happening, but slipped out of the hands of Xander Gleam. So,
Yeah, Fort Morgan's defense is just not making the play when they have a chance to get them for a stop in the backfield.
Well, it's the theme of the season. Bend but don't break. 1st and 10 for the 41-yard line. 5:18 to go before halftime. 3-step drop for Wallace. Pressure coming up the middle. He runs out of it. Now he's got room to run along the left side to the 40. He gets by a defender. That's going to be short or close to a first down. There is going to be a flag against Green Mountain. Looked like a hold right there, which allowed Wallace to be freed up. And let's see if that's going to be the indication against Green Mountain. We'll give him some positive yardage if it took place downfield, but the preliminary indication is still being discussed by the 2 officials near the 35-yard line. This will be a hold.
And a chop block.
Yep, against Green Mountain.
I think that's that what am I trying to say? Not crackback, but the blindside block.
Blindside.
Right, yeah. Which is why
Blindside block.
So give Wallace 6 yards because they walked it off from the 35. So it's not going to be a 2nd and 25. It'll be a 2nd and 19. Oh, check that. 1st and 19, excuse me. 1st and 19.
And the Green Mountain coaches have got to be livid. That was way away from the play.
Yeah, I mean, that shouldn't have had anything to do. Man in motion. That's Polignot. There's going to be a reverse. Here's DeGrazia. Huge room to the right. There's no Mustang out there. And now a great play by Fajardo at the 41-yard line. DeGrazia kind of stopped. He could have kept going to the outside. Now he picks up 9 yards. But that could have been about 20 or 30-yard gain, Brian.
Yeah, it was wide open on the other side, but thanks to the speed of Fajardo to get out there, that held that to just a 10-yard gain.
Yep,
9-yard gain.
Second down and less than 10 to go at the 41-yard line of Fort Morgan, but the clock continues to roll. 4.5 minutes to go, second quarter. Fort Morgan leads 7-0. The 1-yard plunge there by Briggs Wheatley. DeGrazia is in motion to the right. Inside handoff. Sanchez back towards the middle. Grabbed at the 39, and he gets to about the 38-yard line. Jimmy Keller, and we also had a lineman in there to make the defensive line. Daniel Serna grabbed him around the ankles. 3rd down and 8 yards to go off that carry from Sanchez. Is that Sanchez on the... or did I have the wrong guy?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
My short-term
Sanchez.
memory is
Yep.
going to right down the toilet. 3rd and 8 from the 38. Make it 3rd and 7. Pass out, left flat. Caught by DeGrazia. He's got a first down to the 30. He's into the clear. Now tackle from behind across the 25. And he was tackled over there by Colin Duckworth. But he gets to the 23-yard line. A gain of 15. That is a pass there to DeGrazia. And, man, this offense looks good.
And they had they had some nice blocking out here on the outside edge by their wide receivers that sprung him downfield.
Yeah, no market at the 22.
And they're probably having as much success as any team has had against Fort Morgan passing.
Well, but you know how they're winning? How they're not winning the game, but they're keeping Fort Morgan's offense off the field.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
They're winning time of possession here. 1st and 10 from the 22, but it's 7-0 Fort Morgan late in the second quarter. Wallace looks to his right, looks to throw. And he's got time. Now rolls to his left. Now he'll take off to the 20-yard line. Close to a first down tackle by McCoy from behind at about the 14, maybe the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 9 for Zach Wallace. And let me tell you, eyes are opening up all over the state with this result as we approach halftime. And we got 2 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the second quarter. Fort Morgan leads by a touchdown. Green Mountain is threatening, and they have 2 timeouts remaining, but that's not going to matter right now because they're not that far away from the end zone. On 2nd and 1 from the 13, DeGrazia is in motion to the right. Inside handoff running right. First down to the 11 for a gain of 2. Oh, they're going to backtrack it. That's George Soppy. All he needed was a yard. And they're going to say he's held short, or Soapy. Well, that's no gain then because he needed really just a yard there for Soapy, but they're going to say nothing. But this could just be a quarterback keeper. That ball's at about I'd say at the 12 and a half yard line. We'll call it the 12. Soapy still in that backfield to the left of the quarterback, Wallace. And now we have a Fort Morgan timeout. Not just a bank in Colorado, they're Bank of Colorado. That's right, Bank of Colorado, proud supporter of local sports and academics. That's Bank of Colorado. And listen, I mean, regardless of what the score is at halftime, you got to be really happy if you're the 14 seed in this game.
Yeah, that's for sure. Coming in here on their playing on their turf and holding this offense to 7 points right now. So it's they got to be feeling good about themselves.
Yeah, it's just seems like Fort Morgan. I'm not going to say that they've always done this, but this season they just don't play as well against teams that they're not like really challenged by. They played their greatest game against Erie. I mean, not Erie, Roosevelt. And, look at the Northfield game. Northfield was better than probably people thought it was. Northridge.
Well, 5 turnovers in the second half. You're not going to do anything there to rout that team. But they were up 23-0 in that game.
Yep.
And here we go. A 3rd down and less than half a yard to go at the 12-yard line. Wallace, will he take it himself? He will. Run to his right. First down behind his right tackle to the 10.
I didn't know you could break the huddle with 12 players.
Well, do they have 12?
Yeah,
Somebody's got to count out there.
Let's see, maybe they only have 11.
Well, one ran out
Right.
at the end of the huddle.
Oh, yeah, no, but Ryan's talking about breaking the huddle, but I think
should-
that's only an NFL rule or maybe a college rule, too.
because they were complaining about it. So,
Well,
but
is anybody doing a count out
but
there?
maybe they only had 10 to start with.
Usually an official is assigned to count the number of players, but it looks legit. It's at the 10-yard line, a 1st and goal for Green Mountain, and still plenty of time to go with 1:17. And now we have a timeout. Let's see, that's an official's time.
There we
Oh,
go.
no, there it is.
Hey, see, Brian, he's on the ball. He knows what's
All
going on.
right, but let's count. One just went off the field, so there would be 12 on the field. That means the last play would not even count.
Right.
4, 8, 12. Yeah, I count 12 out there. There's 11 there, and one just went off the field.
Right. Well, there weren't 12 during the play. There were 12 in the huddle, and one ran off and got out of bounds before they snapped
But
it.
you can't break the huddle with 12.
Okay, Brian is right then. Yeah. I
Mark
figured
that in the calendars.
Yeah.
well, but I figured since they didn't count it, that they didn't call it until now, that it wasn't a rule. But I guess we'll see because the officials are still conferring at about the 13-yard line, and there's 5 of them out there. It's almost like they're talking about the rule book now.
Yeah,
but the play
right.
should not count.
Right. One of the hardest things for officiating, no matter what, is when can you go back and take away a play?
Well,
And retroactive, like in basketball, it's once the ball's become live twice, then you can't, reverse it.
okay, so the discussion now is, Kevin, whether it's 3rd down and 5 at the 15 or 1st and goal at the 15. I think that's the discussion right now. If the play counts, it's 1st and goal at the 15. If it didn't count, it's 3rd and 5 at the 15.
Right.
I mean, there's no other
Fourth.
way, or maybe the 16-yard line,
Yeah.
because it was at the 11.
Well, they can't penalize them from the first down
No.
for something that happened before last play. So it would have to be to go back to where the ball was, and
I think he
should
just
be-
signaled 3rd down.
Should be 3rd down and 15 because that
Right.
play shouldn't have counted.
Right.
Well, then it should be 3rd and 5 because they had a third,
3rd and 5. I'm
or
sorry,
3rd
from
and
the
5 and a
15.
half or 6. Are they going to walk it off for the 11? But they've got to realign those chains. Those chains are now incorrect,
Yep.
Time is being reset
Yeah, they've
to
got-
1:40.
and there's exactly 100 seconds to go. Here in the opening half, Fort Morgan took their opening drive 69 yards, but they had one big play, the 48-yarder by Ortega, and after that, a bunch of small plays in terms of yardage.
So it appears, not knowing the rule book, it appears as though you can go back and correct a play previously if
So it's now 3rd down
You know,
for
it's-
the Rams.
they can see it. Obviously,
But they didn't
could.
run a play after that.
Right.
So-
If they would have gotten another play in, that wouldn't have happened. But
Yeah, bottom line, that play never counted. You're right. They can go back to the last play. That's what they've done. So it's 3rd down and 6 to go for the 16-yard line of Fort Morgan. 1:40 to go before the break, and the Mustangs with a 7-0 lead. And you would think after the missed 31-yard field goal by Marquez, this has got to be 4-down territory for Green Mountain as the clock is now back in motion inside of 90 seconds to go. And watch how they've got multiple threats as the Fort Morgan defense has found out, and Green Mountain is now going to take their second timeout with 1:27 remaining. Well, they want to get this right
Yep.
because they do receive the second half kickoff. And quite frankly, neither team, well, Fort Morgan one time, but outside of that, both teams have had decent field position in this game. It hasn't been terrible field position like inside your 20 or 15-yard line. Fort Morgan had it at the 20 following the missed field goal, and that seemed like it took place like an hour ago.
right. You were talking about how fast this half was going, and now it seems to have slowed down to a crawl.
Yeah, it's still pretty quick. It's still pretty quick. I mean, we're at 1:50 Mountain Time, and unless
We're down at about 5 yards for the Rams.
Fort Morgan gets the ball back and they take some timeouts to try to score before halftime, this will end a little bit quicker. On 3rd down and 6 for the 16-yard line of the Mustangs. Shotgun formation, the running back to the right. DeGrazi's in motion to the right. He gets the two-handed pitch. He's got nowhere to go. The Mustangs are out there for a huge loss. Back at the 24. Is that Keller again? That is Jimmy Keller. Mosqueda was right behind him. But that's going to be 4th down and forever now after the loss of 8 yards. Man, can you imagine you had 3rd and 1, 3rd and 6, and now it is 4th and 14.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Fort Morgan's reverse play. That just some great defense that forced that play.
Well, how many times can you say it in football or in sports? You go to the well once too often.
Yep.
They've
Right.
run that play successfully, but they couldn't get away with it there. And Jimmy Keller has played one heck of a game. And now we're down to 43 seconds to go. They're going to go for it. 4th and 14 at the Mustang 24. Out of the gun. Mustangs are bringing pressure. Back to throw. Rolling to his left. Evades pressure. Steps up. And he's down at the 25-yard line. A sack. Oh, he had nowhere to go. And Jimmy Keller and Alcon Ortiz were in there for Fort Morgan to make the play. Now what do the Mustangs do at their own 25 with 34 and a half seconds to go? I say go for it here. You can run a play. You had that inside pass to Marquez. If he makes it, he could have gone a long way.
Yep.
I don't think you give up right now.
Yep. On a side note, Brush is ahead 7-3 on Resurrection Christian, the #1 seed. So
First quarter?
first quarter. 4 minutes left in the second.
Thank you very much. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Wheatley, play action, looks to throw, pumps. deep up the right side. Marquez is out there, off his right hand, incomplete. It was well defended,
Incomplete.
but the defender didn't turn around in Austin Beeson. I think had he thrown it more over the outside shoulder, there might have been a shot to make that catch. But I like that. I love that play call, gentlemen.
Yeah, it appeared to me that Marquez misplayed the wind. He thought he had to slow down to get the ball, but the wind carried it a little bit farther. And if he would have stayed in stride, I think he might have still made that catch.
Basalt last week against Brush pulled 2 hook and ladders. That would fool everybody right now. But I don't know if the hook and ladders in the playbook now. 2nd down and 10 for the 25, inside of 30 seconds to go. Handoff Ortega up the middle, and then he runs to his left. He's going to be down after a gain of a couple to the 27, and I think that's going to be it. I don't think the Fort Morgan Mustangs are going to take a timeout here. They will just take this into the locker room as they're up to the line of scrimmage, but we have 11 seconds to go. I mean, why even run a play?
They're not.
No, do not run a play, and that's going to be it. We have played 24 minutes of football in the opening round of the 3A state playoffs. And with the score, Fort Morgan 7, Green Mountain nothing. We'll take a 2-minute break on B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustang Halftime Show is brought to you by Stubbs Gas and Oil. Fill up your cooler, gas up your car. That is Stubbs Gas and Oil. John Beltran along with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. 69 yards on the first drive for Fort Morgan. That's the 1-yard sneak on 4th down by Briggs Wheatley. That's been it. The Mustangs lead Green Mountain a 3, leading a 14 at Legion Field on a 64-degree afternoon. 7-0. The Mustangs have been outgained 123-97. Dom Sanchez, the leading ground gainer, 9 carries for 46 yards. Zach Wallace, the quarterback, 4 times for 18 yards. And DeGrazia had 4 carries for 27, then took an 8-yard loss. Zach Wallace has thrown the ball 5 times, completed 3 with an interception for 46 yards. Meanwhile, the Mustangs, not good. Wheatley was 2 out of 2 for 14 yards and 3 incompletions. And both catches by Marquez on the ground. Ortega, 8 carries for 72 yards. But since that first carry, has had 7 carries in the game for just 24 yards, just barely over 3 yards a carry. Wheatley's got 5 for 15. Fajardo, 1 for -10. McCoy's got 2 carries for 6 yards. And it's not good, Brian. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10 right now, that first half, it was looking like an 8 pretty early, but that one pretty much went down to maybe about a 5 because the defense did post a shutout, but even they had their faults in the first half because Green Mountain missed a 31-yard field goal.
Yeah, it's been, ever since that first drive, like you said, it's been just downhill. They haven't been able to get in sync with their offense. I'm just not sure what's going on there. The defense is doing a great job, really. No points on the board for Green Mountain. But they're going to have to go in here at halftime and figure out what's going to work on offense, or, just go back to that basic offense that they like to run and see if they can get down the field that way.
If they get away with it and win this game, maybe one of the positives, Kevin, use the term blessing in disguise. Did not play well in the second half against Northridge, had a strong performance against Holy Family. Did not play well here in the first half offensively. They played a little bit better. It seems that this is a team, at least lately, that responds off of lackluster efforts, whether it be in the second half, in the first 2 games of the season. You were with me in Scotts Bluff after the team did not look good in the first half. Same story against Brush, or just in complete games altogether like they did last week. So if they can get away with not playing such a great game here, that might not necessarily be a signal that they're going to play poorly next week.
Right. I think Fort Morgan is just kind of an interesting team in that they somewhat play up or down to their competition. And I'm not saying that Green Mountain's not a good team. But, when you get to the playoffs and you're the number 3 ranked team, you're expected to play better than that. We marched down on that first drive, gashing them for yards. And since then, have we gotten a first down? Maybe 1 or 2?
I don't even know if that.
And, in their first drive, we pretty well stopped them. And then since then, they've been marching down to the 20 and getting to the red zone before we can stop them.
Here's what we do know. After Fort Morgan's first drive, they have 28 yards of total offense. All right. And that is that's something. 28 yards. Brian, that's normally a bad drive for Fort Morgan, not a bad, 20 minutes of football.
Right? Yeah, they're. I don't know if they're not getting the blocking up front that they need to. Apparently, they're sending more than we can block at the moment. but they're going to have to figure out some plays here that's going to spring them downfield. So,
And this is a defense that let Lutheran put 63 on them last week. So it's not like a defense that
right.
is used to holding good offenses.
All right, let me clarify here that David Keller's the one. I think I've been saying Jimmy Keller. I don't know why I got back to Jimmy, because David's playing like the way Jimmy did. So thanks to my buddy Dale. I don't know why I keep saying Jimmy Keller, but I've said that a few times. And you guys are not back. I think you guys are letting me get away with that on purpose. So David Keller's the one that's having a heck of a first half. Jimmy graduated like 3 or 4 years ago. Okay, I get back on track for the second half, as David Keller did lead the team in tackles here in the opening half. With the score in this opening round 3A state tournament playoff game from Legion Field, it's Fort Morgan 7, Green Mountain nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the third quarter. The Mustangs lead by a score of 7-0. Right now, Fort Morgan's on upset alert in this opening round 3A state tournament playoff game, with a winner to take on Frederick, which routed Pueblo County last night. I think it was 51-7 or in that area. And Fort Morgan knows if they escape with a victory here, they got to play a heck of a lot better next week. And Brandon Marquez will kick it off. And watch out, because Dacris is back deep to receive over there. He had a big 29-yard run, and he's out there with Anthony DeGrazia.
They have had one kickoff return for a touchdown this year.
Well, they probably will not get the ball. This will be pooched probably towards the 25 or 30-yard line. Well, no, I'm wrong about that. It's going to be fielded at the 7. And DeGrazia runs to his right. He'll fake the handoff. He's got the sideline with a 1 to beat over there, and a couple others get on the tackle across the 20 to the 23. Yanez was out there, but he ran around him. And it looked like might have been Chase Romero at the 24-yard line, a return of 17, but ran a lot of large yards laterally to his right. So let's see if the Fort Morgan defense here can force a turnover. The Mustangs came up with the only turnover of the opening half, an interception by Frank Ortega. I don't believe that Green Mountain punted in the first half. There's the handoff. Sanchez to the right, following a block. He's out of bounds. The Mustangs with great containment, as Jesse Campa had penetration. I think he just got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe the 25 for Sanchez. It's a gain of 1. Second down and 9 yards to go for Green Mountain.
Looks like Green Mountain went back to kind of their game plan early, where they were all pretty tight formation and trying to kind of power run it a little bit.
Looks like David Keller's lined up as a left defensive end. 2nd and 9. There's that flip to Polignot along the right side. He gets around defenders, including David Keller. He's out of bounds across the 30. Maybe not that much. Nope. He ran out across the 30, but apparently he was out of bounds prior to that at the 28. Gain of just 2 for Polignot. He's got 3 carries for negative 4 yards. 3rd down and 7 to go from the 28-yard line. And they're running towards the short side of the field, which surprises me. I mean, there's not a lot of room out there. Now, the only advantage, you get a key block on the short side of the field, you're gone, but there's too many Mustangs out there. On 3rd down and 7 from the 28, again on the right hash mark. Shotgun for Zach Wallace. The running back is off to his right. DeGrazia in motion to the right. There's the misdirection, running left, and Marquez is right there to throw Polignot down for a 1-yard gain. Also in on the play for Fort Morgan was Timothy Paxton. There's the answer, Kevin. Great defense.
Right. And as we would expect, Josh Langford and all the Fort Morgan coaches, both offense and defense, have a really knack for making halftime adjustments, and the kids come out ready to play that first drive, second half.
All right, what type of formation is this on a 4th down and 6? They got to be punting here, almost like a quick kick. And now backing up is the punter, Demetrius Padilla, at his own 16. There's a flag down. It is blocked. The ball is loose. It is blocked. It's still loose in the backfield, and the Mustangs have it. Doesn't matter who recovers it at the 27. There is a flag down, and that's going to be an illegal formation against Green Mountain. And that was blocked over there by Colin Duckworth. He got his right hand on it, and the Mustangs have it at the 27. Special teams getting involved for the Mustangs.
Now they're conferring to see whether he blew the play dead or or
didn't.
whether it was an illegal formation.
Oh, they might get a second chance because, well, then it's going to be a false start. Now the Fort Morgan offense is out there.
Yep.
Yeah, if they let the play run and it's called like that, it would be an illegal formation.
They're going to put it on. No.
Yep.
I was wondering if they were. Let's see what they're going to do.
Well, then it's going to be a false start, but why did they allow the play to run? No, the Fort Morgan offense is out there. Now I'm confused.
Looks like they called it a false start. So it's-
All right, I don't know what's going on here.
But they didn't blow it dead because this ref didn't throw the flag until the play had started.
I think it's going to be false start and the play never took place. But the Mustang offense is out there. But why would they assess the 5-yard penalty? That you declined that penalty. Even Ty Davies is wondering what's going on out there.
So
they're moving
okay.
they're moving the chain, so it's 1st and 10 Fort Morgan. and they
Okay,
put
but then the penalty shouldn't even count.
Right. They
The
should
pen-
mark off the penalty.
It's a declination of the penalty. I just used the word declination. I've never done that in my life. All right, 1st and 10 at the 21.
Unless that's actually where we got it and it just appeared 5
No,
yards.
they didn't get it there. They did not recover it there. I mean, unless that's new math, the Mustangs will take it 1 yard shy of the red zone. 1st and 10 off the block punt by Duckworth at the 21-yard line. We've got 10:55 to go, third quarter. Fort Morgan leads Green Mountain 7-0, looking to double up the lead. Ortega to the left of the quarterback, Wheatley out of the shotgun formation. In motion to the left is Fajardo. He's got the handoff of the end around, running wide to the left. He's grabbed around the shirt collar. Now he reverses his field. And now to the 25, along the sideline to the 15. Fajardo to the 5, and he's down right there. That could have been a 7 or 8 yard loss. Instead, Fajardo picks up 16. 1st and goal for the Mustangs, and that was a risky play that played off, and paid off, I should say, for Fort Morgan.
That's for sure. I thought maybe they might have thrown a flag out here for an illegal block in the back, but apparently they didn't think it was enough contact there that to warrant that. So
Yeah, I was
Well,
thinking there's a lot of opportunities for Fort Morgan to get called for penalties on a play like that.
Sometimes it's an illegal block. Sometimes you just screen the defender. 1st and goal for the 5. In motion to the left, Fajardo. Handoff, Ortega up the middle. Touchdown! He stretches out the ball with his right hand, even though he was not tackled. 5 yards away for Frank Ortega. And the Mustangs, on their first drive of the second half, lead 13-0.
yeah, they made that short drive look pretty easy.
A 21-yard drive. Give me some skin, brother. Thank you very much. There you go. Of course, they have more skin than I do, and I'm not making fun of them. I'm just a smaller guy. All right, now the extra point attempt by Marquez. The 20-yard extra point is up, and that baby is right down the middle. We have got 10 minutes and 18 seconds to go, third quarter. Fort Morgan 14, Green Mountain nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Western Engineering Consultants have the experience and reputation to prove there is no better choice. From aviation to school, residential to commercial, the work of Western Engineering Consultants speaks for itself. Local projects include the Brush Secondary Campus expansion, Morton County REU maintenance, and if you look north of Brush from I-76, you will see the new Colorado Land Processors facility. Check out all of their projects online at westerneci.com or call Chad at 303-913-7341 today.
Really virtually the same play that deflated Fort Morgan's momentum in the first half. The 10-yard loss by Fajardo worked in the second half, but that was not the design they wanted, a 16-yarder. And Brandon Marquez to kick it off. Dacres and DeGrazio make it DeGrazia. Back deep to receive as the ball falls off the tee. So Jose Mosqueda will hold, but he's got to go on the other side. Yeah, it's a right-footed kicker, but he's going to run right into him. Yeah, right-footed kicker, you got to go off to the opposite side. Now, Fort Morgan did cover the last kickoff very well. That was a 21-yard drive. This is more of a pooch. It'll be fielded by Polignot at the 16-yard line, running across the field to his right, back at the 15, and tackle from behind at about the 17-yard line. That looks like, was that Placido Leanos who made the tackle, and he's a senior only on special teams. That's a heck of a play. A return of about 3 or 4 yards at the 20-yard line. And now you're down by 2 touchdowns. They don't have to pass yet, but if they fall behind by 3 touchdowns, then Green Mountain will be in desperation mode.
Yeah, and their passing is not their strong forte, that's for sure.
1st and 10 at the 20. Again, the short side of the field is the right side. If they operate on that side, man in motion, DeGrazia to the right. There's the inside handoff. Sanchez thrown for a loss at the 19-yard line. That is junior David Keller.
It is David.
Oh, is that Jimmy's little brother?
Jimmy's in Tampa.
Nice.
Back at the 19. 2nd down and 11 to go at the 19. Excellent play by DK. Of course, you talk to Brian and Kevin, they're more DQ guys, but that's a different story. From the 19-yard line, hey, not that I'm shying away either. High Plains Bank and Wiggins, another outstanding sponsor of Mustang and Morgan County Athletics. 2 receivers split each side. Wallace, pass out in the flat. It's caught by DeGrazia at the 19-yard line. A cut to the 25. He's down to the 28-yard line. And he's tackled by Duckworth, but that's a gain of about 9 yards. A 3rd down and 2, and it's only one move. If a Mustang's out there quicker, they can get him on the point of attack. But you give them room to the 29, actually, it's a gain of 10.
Yeah, it's the same play that they had some success with first half, and I imagine they'll go back to that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to throw it downfield. It's just one of those, almost a little bit of a bubble screen, although it's a longer pass than that. 3rd down and 1 at the 29. Fort Morgan with a 14-0 lead early in the 3rd quarter. 1-yard touchdown run by Wheatley, a 5-yarder by Ortega. DeGrazia is in motion to the right. Handoff. Sanchez right side, and he's close to a 1st down, but his knee was down at the 29. That's what the far official is saying, as there was plenty of penetration over there by Timothy Paxton. No gain. He got about a few inches.
Big decision here. Do you go for it and pretty much have the possibility of handing Fort Morgan the ball inside your 30?
I think you have to go for it. I think Fort Morgan's got momentum. I know you're inside your 30-yard line, but you're a 14 versus a 3. It's still early in the 3rd quarter with 8:16 to go, and you've got less than a yard to get. I would quick snap it, but it's not going to matter. You can't really quick snap here because it's in a shotgun formation for Wallace. 3rd down and less than a yard to go. Make it 4th down and less than a yard. I think they're just going to try to draw him off sides and then punt. Oh, no, they're going to run the play. Wallace to his right, 1st down across the 30. He barrels to the 32. Yeah, for a while it was a longer count, but he picks up 3 yards on the play. That's a well-run play by Green Mountain. That's the 5th carry for Wallace for 21 yards.
And I'm with you. If you have a half a yard to gain, you can't gain that on one play. You probably aren't going to make it much farther in the playoffs anyway.
Well, Fort Morgan's a playoff defense, but this is a playoff offense, and the percentages go towards the offense on a 4th and 1. Now it's a 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. Tight bunch formation. Misdirection. DeGrazia running to his left. A cut back to the middle to the 45-yard line. He's in the clear with a Mustang in pursuit. Tackle from behind at the 33 by Fajardo, another big gainer. And if it's at the 33, it's a gain of 35 yards for a 1st down, and DeGrazia is a major weapon for Green Mountain.
Yeah, they just kick out the end, and if the linebacker doesn't come around and fill, there's no one home.
He juked a couple of guys out of their shoes out there, got him downfield.
And Fajardo's got tremendous closing speed. If not, he would have been scoring easily on that play. High snap. Dom Sanchez running to his right, has a seam towards the sideline, and it's a 1st down across the 25 to about the 22-yard line. He just ran off right tackle, then he bounced it to the outside for a gain of 10 for Dom Sanchez, his 13th carry of the game, and he is up to 56 yards. Green Mountain trying to counter, trailing 14-0. 6:47 to go, 3rd quarter. A little bit of a high snap. Sanchez on the counter right. He's got some yardage across the 20, maybe inside the 20, but I think they're going to mark him down right there. And David Keller was in on the hit along with a couple of other Mustangs. 2nd down. Now we'll give him 7 to go just inside the 20. But they're starting to find some lanes again. And Fort Morgan is a great red zone defense, as we've seen all season. 2nd down and a short 7 to go inside the Mustang 20, awaiting the snap out of the gun. There's the give to Soapy, and he's grabbed around the ankles by Jesse Campa, but he still drives to the 16. Wow, he just kept going. Didn't get enough of them for the gain of about 4.
They keep pulling out of those tackles. They're strong runners, that's for sure. Fort Morgan needs to wrap up.
3rd down and 3 to go. 4 down territory undoubtedly for Green Mountain. And this drive, where did it start, Brian? Inside of their...
It's their own 20.
Yeah, so they've gone. Now 64 yards. 3rd and 3 for the 16. Perfect snap. Misdirection, running left to Grazia. He's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Oh, man, that was a solid hit by Fort Morgan's Christopher Morales. And DeGrazia is going to be, they're going to give him 0 there. I thought he was thrown down at the 17. Now it's 4th down and 3 to go at the 16. Another big play here for Green Mountain. Can the Mustangs pull this off again defensively? And as long as they're taking, they don't want to take their first time out. We'll be under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd when this play commences. On 4th down and 3 for the 16, just out of the huddle right now. Play clock is running down, but I still think they have enough time. Shotgun formation, running back to the right of the quarterback. Wallace back to throw. He's got time. Rolls to his right underneath, wide open, caught by DeGrazia. That's a 1st down along the sideline. Bounced out of bounds by Mosqueda at about the 13. He got just enough, but he was so open. That was an easy throw for Zach Wallace. And it's at the 12 for a gain of 4. Man, you can't leave somebody that open.
No.
That's too easy. Way too, especially for a non-passing team, Brian.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. They looked like they were setting up for a screen. They kind of blew that up a little bit, and then that kid was open out there on the right side.
He's a major weapon. Polignot is checking out. Did they break the huddle with 12 again? No, they're bringing the same player in. Okay, no, there's 11 on the field. He's in the right slot. 1st and 10 from the 12. Wallace, stutter steps. He's going to run to his right, and I think he took a loss back to the 14. Too much indecision. He almost allowed the Mustangs to hit him over there as David Keller threw him for a loss at the 15-yard line, close to the 15, a loss of, we'll give it, we'll say 14, loss of 2.
Yeah, it was kind of a strange play. It looked like he was almost like a draw off to the right side.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything. 2nd down and 12 to go for the 14. 4:12 to go, 3rd quarter. Fort Morgan 14, Green Mountain nothing. Perhaps a passing situation. Wallace awaits the snap. Perfect snap. Looking to throw. Pumps. Throws to his left. It's caught. And it's going to be inside the 5 to about the 3. That is caught by Austin Beeson. And that should be a 1st down. The ball's at the 2 for a gain of 12. Man, I mean, they're really knocking on the door right now. And I don't think Fort Morgan can dodge another bullet. Thank goodness they're up by 2 scores, but Green Mountain is right there. 1st and goal at the 2 on the left hash mark. Soapy's in that backfield to the right of the quarterback out of the shotgun. And there's the quarterback keeper by Wallace to his right, and he's down at the 1. As Frank Ortega was the initial tackler there for Fort Morgan. 2nd down and goal. This will be an 80-yard drive if they can cap it off. Polignot checking back into the game for Dakers, and now Soapy's out of the game. Nope, Dakers will stay in. On 2nd and goal. And that ball looks like it's actually, is that at the 1 or the 2? No, it says the 1, but man.
Yeah, I think it's at the 1.
But you look at the far sideline, it's like at the 1.5 or something. Yeah. In motion to the right, DeGrazia. Oh, there was movement. I believe they had some movement there on the left side. And again, these are the breaks that Fort Morgan sometimes can get. That's why they're such a good red zone defense. They make plays. But somehow they might unnerve teams to make plays as well. The negative ones, that is, that's a false start. And now it's going to be placed a little bit outside the 6.
Yeah, I didn't know if they had moved or not. It looked like Jose Mosqueda had come clear across the line of scrimmage over there when that guy went in motion, but left side had moved.
Well, that might have been one of those forced things. Yeah, do you see the angle I'm seeing on the far sideline? It looks like it's like at the 6.5.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that does not look like it's right at the 6.
They don't have decimals on the scoreboard, John.
I know. I mean, what is going on here? What type of show is this? It is the playoffs. Second down and goal just outside the 6. DeGrazia's in motion to the right, looking to throw. Oh, the slant incomplete. That was not a good pass. Intended over the middle for Austin Contreras, and Wallace threw it into the ground. I think he was wary of an interception. He had completed 6 of his previous 7 passes. That's how well he's played today.
Yeah.
It's third down.
Looked like he was open, though, if he had hit him. He had the inside position on Mosqueda over there, and if he'd have had it up, it might have been a completion.
Third and goal from the 6-yard line. Resurrection Christian now leads Brush on 10-10 KSIR 10-7 at the end of 3 quarters. In that 2A state quarterfinal, receivers split each side. Third and goal for the 6. Wallace awaits a snap, and the right guard moved that time. Oh, that was clear movement over there by Will Klein, a sophomore. Well, this is a young football team, and young football teams make mistakes, especially in the postseason. But if Fort Morgan holds on for this win, Green Mountain still has to feel good about the performance today.
Oh, absolutely. They stuck with us.
It'll be a good building foundation for next year.
And a good building foundation for next week for Fort Morgan. A nice lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
But we still have plenty of football here.
You got to come out and play. It doesn't matter who it is.
2:19 to go, third quarter. The Mustangs up by 2 touchdowns, but now it's a third and goal for the 11. And they'll send trips to the right. Looks like it's a 2 tight end set.
No, it's a offensive lineman.
It is an offensive lineman along with a tight end.
Screen to the right, maybe.
Yeah, there's going to be some sort of funky play. Wallace to throw. Out to his right. Caught underneath.
Did he report?
And hopefully to the 8-yard line. Down right there. It was caught by the lineman who just committed the penalty in Will Klein. And he's tackled. It looked like Mosqueda was there.
It went to 84.
It did.
Yeah.
It looked like it was caught by Donnie Carney made the catch, the tight end, to the 8-yard line, a gain of 3. They'll be going for it here on a 4th and goal, and Fort Morgan might be able to pull this off again, even though the ball was at the 1-yard line. It was 1st and goal at the 2.
That was an interesting play to pull your tackle out and line him up. He was covered by the split end, so he wasn't illegal.
Well, they're going to have to call a timeout here. They'll be down to 2 timeouts because the play clock is running down, and the game clock is at 1:32. So we will keep it here. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending. Sterling, Fort Morgan, Yuma, and Holyoke. Premier Farm Credit all over Northeast Colorado. Yeah, some good football going on today. Let's see, in 3A, Palisade leads Pueblo East 21-14. We had some matchups yesterday and 4 more today. Let's see what else we got in
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the
Thomas Jefferson trails Roosevelt, the 1 seed, 28-7.
prize of
And
$26.
yeah, that looks like there's. I'm looking for the other score, but I'll have to punch in the classification.
In 1A, local team Ray is handling Florence 30-7, but Yuma is getting the short end against Centauri.
Durango leads Evergreen 42-3. Durango's a force to be dealt with, no doubt. Now Pueblo East and Palisade tied at 21 in the third quarter. So here we go for Evergreen. They're in Green Mountain. It's David Keller, right?
That's right.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with me today. I still have an Atlanta Braves hangover. 4th and goal at the 8. 92 seconds to go in the third quarter. Fort Morgan with touchdown runs by Wheatley and Ortega lead 14-0 on the right hash mark. 2 receivers split to the right now. Soapy goes off the field. And all types of motion, and there's a flag down.
Yep. And I don't know why they didn't call him leaving the huddle again. I don't understand
Right.
why they're leaving late.
This time it's just a false start.
5-yard penalty.
Talk about shooting yourself in the foot.
Yep.
I mean, they were a yard away from making this 14-6, and now, what type of mark is that? That's not 5 yards. It's at the 13 now.
It should be at the 16.
Yes. What is that?
What is that?
Are they not contesting that? If that's a false start, it can't be at the 13. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I didn't realize false start was a 2-yard penalty. 4th and goal from the 13. Pulling out in motion to the right. There's a reverse pitch to DeGrazia. He wants to throw, but has to take off with the football. DeGrazia to the 10, to the 5-yard line. He's down at the 2. Tackled by McCoy. Held short of the end zone. It's a gain of 11, but the Mustangs make a defensive play just shy of the goal line, and they take over on downs.
Number 27, Levi McCoy.
Oh, wow.
At the
Yeah, I'm glad they turned around and started looking.
Mustangs will take over.
Well, yeah, he wanted to throw that ball, but he's running against the grain there because he's a right-handed thrower running to his left.
So, ladies and
But the
gentlemen,
Mustangs had some pursuit out there and some containment. 1st and 10 at the 2. The Mustangs
press box.
have 1:22 to go in the third quarter. How about breaking out of it with a huge play?
Car keys that have been found.
This is what they're good at.
Well, we're going to find out right now if they can do it in this game. They have a 99-yard touchdown this year on a pass from Wheatley to Ortega. On 1st and 10 for the 2, this will be a gift to Ortega, running left, back towards the middle, across the 5, and then driven back at the 8-yard line for a gain of 6. And that gets them out of a hole just a little bit.
Helping out on the tackle.
All they want to do for now is pick up a first down and have possession of the ball going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they got a man down for Green Mountain again.
Second injury of the game, but this one doesn't look as serious as the first one. As we're looking at a 2nd down and 4 to go for Fort Morgan. The Mustangs scored in their first drive of the game and their third. The first drive of the third quarter, I should say.
Right.
So we will find out exactly what Fort Morgan is going to do with this play. And keep in mind, Green Mountain is down to 2 timeouts.
Right.
That's now a factor because they didn't score on the last drive.
They will have the wind at their back for the fourth quarter. So,
Well, that'll help. There's no doubt that'll help. But hopefully they won't be forced to use the wind as a factor if they keep the ball on the ground. Fill up your cooler, gas up your car stubs, gas and oil. And like a good neighbor, Greg Mullen and his team are there to make the insurance world easy for you at State Farm Insurance, 842-4555, home, auto, life, and health.
Player is number 84, Donnie Carney.
That was the tight end. Okay.
The tight end, who's also an outside linebacker, Donnie Carney, walks off under his own power for Green Mountain.
6'5", 210.
Second down for the Mustangs.
brush back up 14-10 on Resurrection Christian.
How about that? Thank you for that update, Mr. Rohde. With a Kevin Rohde report on 2nd down and 4 to go for the 8. And you can catch that game right now on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All part of the Eastern Plains Sports Network. In motion to the left, Fajardo. Wheatley keeps it himself. A seam to the 10-yard line, and he's down right there at the 12. That's going to be a first down for Fort Morgan. Hard running by Briggs Wheatley, just his 6th carry of the game.
He is good for a Mustang.
They still got to run some time here in this third quarter. 49 seconds to go. Clock stops for the realignment of the chains.
Yeah, it's already going, though, so. Down under 40 seconds.
Now we'll give him the 13-yard line. This should be the final play of the third quarter unless it's an incomplete pass or they run out of bounds. But I know they want to run the clock. Play action, looking to throw. Deep up the right side. Marquez looking for the ball. Incomplete. Oh, man, they were looking for interference, but I think Marquez turned around too early. If he keeps running, then turns around, he might have the ball at the 45. It was defended by Austin Beeson right in front of the Fort Morgan bench. 2nd down and 10 to go.
They have a player with cramps on the other side for Green Mountain.
Yeah,
That's
that was
Dacris.
right at the 45-yard line. I didn't think today would be a cramping type of day, would it? Well, in Colorado, you never know. I mean, if you don't have enough water.
Is that Dakers? Is that who that is?
Yep.
Right. Well, now 2 out of 6 is Wheatley for 14 yards. This passing game has been completely shut down. I mean, Fajardo has not seen a target. Ortega had a target. That was incomplete.
Yeah, they're not really throwing anything short. It's all 20, 25 yards downfield, and a lot of times you throw that short pass, and then you can break it for some yardage.
Again, How many times do you see Fort Morgan stumble 2 weeks in a row offensively? If they do it today, which they have throughout the course of the game, and still win this game, you know they'll be much better next week. They have to be better next week against Frederick. No question about that. And that game would be here, more than likely at the same time, but we will find out hopefully by as early as, or no later than Monday. 2nd down and 10 at the 13-yard line. 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Fort Morgan 14, Green Mountain nothing. Ortega to the right of Wheatley. Ortega is going to get the football up the middle. A big hole across the 25. He storms to the 30-yard line for a gain of 7. It'll be 3rd down and 3, and that's the end of quarter number 3 with a score in the opening round of this 3A state tournament game from Legion Field in Fort Morgan. The Mustangs 14, the Green Mountain Rams nothing on Morgan County's B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the fourth quarter. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. The Mustangs lead 14-0, and they face a 3rd down and 3 to go at their own 20-yard line. The offense has been stymied. They had less than 100 yards, I should say, before the break. They were being outgained by Green Mountain. We'll get to the final numbers here coming up a little bit later on. The receivers are split out to the left. Fort Morgan has not had a completion since the opening quarter. 2 quarters in a row without a complete pass, even though they've only thrown it 6 times. And I don't know if they'll pass it here. I don't think they would. On 3rd down and 3, Wheatley will keep it himself off the fake. 1st down across the 35, and he dives to the 39, directly behind his right guard, and Wheatley has his biggest carry of the game. Can you imagine that? That's his biggest carry, not even double digits. Normally, Wheatley will go off for 15, 20 yards in one carry. Kevin, the last time you and I were here on a Saturday, Brian was unavailable. He was on restriction, and Wheatley went for 75 yards in that regular season finale, and that's when he was called for taunting, but not that I want to get into that. I'm trying to think of an opponent there. It was on the West Coast somewhere. It was somewhere in the mountains, a team they played right before the playoff game that all 3 of us were together for the following week when they lost to Roosevelt. There's a timeout called, and that's another official's timeout because of an injury. Fort Morgan has stayed pretty healthy this game, Brian.
Yeah, they have. That's a good sign. I think that's Dakers again.
Yeah, if he's cramping, you almost have to sit him for this series. You're down 14-0, and this is one heck of a player. He's only a sophomore, the leading rusher this season. You'd like to get another touchdown on the board. It feels better to win 21-0, but quite frankly, at this point, if you ask Ty Davies, a victory is a victory. He doesn't care what the score is.
Just win, baby.
Well, that's it. And that's the Al Davis motto,
Yeah, because the alternate is stay home and watch.
8 minutes to go in the game. Resurrection Christian now leads Brush 17-14 in Loveland on 1010 KSIR. And that's how explosive Resurrection Christian can be. But the 7-seeded Bead Diggers are right there with the 2nd-seeded Cougars. And the winner of that game will take on, looks like, Severance. Well, they got a 37-21 lead on the 3-seed Classical Academy. And if Severance wins that game, the winning team in the Brush Resurrection Christian game would be traveling to Severance.
Can't imagine that this is cramps. If it's cramps, you get them up and get them off to the side and treat them there.
Yeah.
I think you're right. That could be in the knee area.
Certainly hope not.
No, not for a player that talented. Let's get
or
it.
For any player for that matter.
Right, no, of course. It is, it was 64 degrees at kickoff. Now it's 68 degrees, so it's warming up nicely. A beautiful day for this November the 13th. And Dacre is still being attended to at the 32-yard line of Fort Morgan, with the Mustangs just picking up a 1st down on that 9-yard run by Briggs Wheatley. Engineering and consulting services for all of your projects. Western Engineering Consultants. Strong commitment to their clients' needs sets them apart. Get your project started the right way. Western Engineering Consultants. You're right. That's beyond a cramp. He's limping significantly. They're going to need a second a person to get him off the field.
Left leg injury.
Yeah, so he's done for the game. There's no way he's coming back in, down by 14 points. That might have been separate from the supposed cramps he could have had earlier.
29-yard line.
Fort Morgan would like to just run out this clock, even though we're early in the fourth quarter. Their biggest play from scrimmage was the very first play, a 48-yard run by Ortega. And we thought off of that it would be a banner day for the offense, but it is not. From the 29-yard line on 1st and 10. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Wheatley, pass out in the left flat. Caught by Fajardo at the 27 to the inside to the 30. And that's hit a gain of 1. There was nothing there on the cut inside. It is his first reception since the first quarter. And now we got a Mustang down. That looks like a lineman.
Yeah, and then never do you throw the ball outside like that and have the receiver run back into the teeth of the defense. I think Fajardo must have saw something that he didn't think he could get outside. But
And Fort Morgan is very thin on the offensive line. And it looks like it appears that Randall Paxton got rolled up a bit. I think he'll be okay as he's walking off gingerly, but he must have gotten rolled up with an ankle because it only takes one person to assist him off the field, but now you're stretching out that offensive line even more. So it's second down
Second down for the Mustangs after the injury time.
and 9 to go.
so that was Summit that we were playing last year on a Saturday.
That was Summit. Second down and 9 at the 30-yard line for the Mustangs. 11 minutes to go and the clock is running in the fourth quarter. Up 14-0 on Green Mountain. Fajardo's in motion to the right. There's the fake to Fajardo. Handoff to Ortega up the middle, but he's only got 3 yards. To the 33-yard line as the hit was made by Zachary Westland, a senior. Third down and 6 to go. And I tell you what, they don't pick up this first down, this game is not over.
No.
Way too much time. This game is far from over.
And they'll have to punt into that wind.
And Green Mountain, this should be a 14-7 game, or at least 14-6. Could have been 14-10, but they missed a 31-yard field goal. And again, the passing game has been limited. Third down at the 33, 3rd and 6, naked backfield. Wheatley rolls to his left, backside pressure. He'll run with the ball along the sideline. First down. That's a nice play by, they're going to say he's out of bounds at the 38? He didn't get the first down? He didn't see the stick? I thought he easily had the first down, but he's going to be short. Well, that's a mistake. A gain of 5, but he was hit, so maybe it wasn't Wheatley on his own. I think I just misjudged the distance. So Wheatley was hit, and it's 4th and 1. Austin Beeson made the contact. 4th and 1 from the 38. Mustangs will go for it. Yeah, you have to go for it here. 1 yard, you're up 14-0. You could punt, but as Brian mentioned, it would be into the teeth of the wind. And you only need a yard. And you've got your quarterback, a terrific athlete out there. Now Fort Morgan has to utilize a timeout.
Timeout, Mustangs.
They want to be sure what's happening here.
Well, you have to.
Continue this drive and keep the ball away from Green Mountain.
I mean, you absolutely have to. You got to make sure there are no mistakes here with a 2-touchdown lead in the early moments of the fourth quarter. And right now in 3A, Palisade leads Pueblo East 28-21. So they've reclaimed the lead. Durango over Evergreen 49-3. Roosevelt, the 1 seed, with a 42-15 lead. Again, if Fort Morgan hangs on for the victory, they'll play Frederick, the number 6 seed. As Frederick last night, man, were they impressive. They beat Pueblo County 42-7. And that was a little bit of a surprising result that they beat them as badly as they did.
That was a game that was on our schedule earlier that was canceled because they had some COVID issues.
But Fort Morgan did defeat Frederick on this field last year on a Thursday night. But that Frederick team is better this year. So it'll be a 4th down and just over a yard to go from the 38-yard line. The Mustangs have a 1-yard touchdown run in the opening quarter from Briggs Wheatley and a 5-yarder on the first drive of the third quarter from Frank Ortega off the block punt by Colin Duckworth. On 4th and 1, shotgun formation. The running back Ortega to the left of the quarterback. Wheatley has it, runs to his left. First down across the 40 to the 41. He just lowers that shoulder, and he finds the seam. He doesn't want to stay on his feet. He doesn't want to stay on his feet. He wants to keep the clock moving. It's a gain of 4 for Briggs Wheatley. He's only up to 38 yards on 9 carries, but it doesn't matter. He's got a 2-touchdown advantage.
They were using him a lot in the first of the, throughout the season. I think they're trying to save him a little bit so they, injury possibilities or something here in the playoffs, and they're getting it done right now.
Especially right now with 9:36 to go in the game. The Mustangs have picked up 2 first downs on this drive. It doesn't matter if they face third down situations now because it just means the clock is moving. From the 42, Fajardo's in motion to the left. Inside handoff. Ortega is straddled around the waist of the 45-yard line and is tackled by about 3 Green Mountain Rams, including Zachary Westland. 2nd down and 6 to go. They'll give him the 46-yard line, whether they say 3 or 4 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yep.
Fort Morgan got away with one on that one. Yeah, they had one player shift, and he didn't completely come set before the second player went in motion, and then they snapped the ball while he was in motion. Generally, if you have 2 different people go in motion, you have to be completely set before the second motion.
2nd down and 6 to go for the 46-yard line. The Mustangs still in their own territory, and they're approaching 10 plays on the drive. 2 or 3 more will get them to 10. Well, that looked like there was movement. There's the handoff to Ortega running to the right, and he's down at the line of scrimmage. I thought the left guard, or the left tackle, I should say, jumped slightly. But that play really didn't do anything as George Soapy made the tackle. 3rd and 6 to go from the 46. 3rd consecutive 3rd down situation for the Mustangs on this drive after the 14th carry of the game by Frank Ortega.
Just over 8 minutes to go here in the 4th period.
Pistol formation. From the 46-yard line, the Mustangs are on their own side of the field. Everybody bunched in tight, and Wheatley's going to call a timeout, I think, or no. They'll let the play clock run down. It's still not at 5. Now it's at 5. He gets the snap. Option. Now he wants to throw up the left side, and it's broken up at the 39. That was thrown behind Fajardo and broken up by Anthony DeGrazia, and Fort Morgan's got a punt. And that play was not timed well by the Mustangs.
Definitely not Briggs' best pass of the season.
He was just late on it. He should have had it there before when he was coming out of the break.
It was a late release, no doubt. And how about this? It'll be Chase Redding to punt at his own 30, giving Ortega a little bit of a rest. He got a low line drive this thing. Forget about any elevation. If not, it's going to get caught in the wind. It'll be about a 15-yard punt if he does that. Standing at his own 31. Need a good snap. It's a high snap, and the ball is loose. Now Redding is going to have to fall on it. He'll pick it up. He'll run to his left at the 20. Let's see if he can just kick it or something. And then he's taken out of bounds, and that's a huge mistake by the Mustangs. And now in terrific field position is Green Mountain off an awful snap that went several yards over his head. And Green Mountain has great field position at the 29 of Fort Morgan with 7:39 to go in the game, only down 14-0. Both teams have committed a special teams error.
Time for the defense to stand tall again.
Yeah, but boy, you can't rely on this the entire game. At some point, Green Mountain's going to get into the end zone. Fort Morgan does have an interception in this game from Frank Ortega. Naked backfield, 1st and 10 from the 29. 2 receivers out to the right, trips to the left, all bunched in tight. Wallace juggles the ball to throw. Deep up the right sideline, incomplete. Jose Mosqueda blanketed the wide receiver, Dalton Holignot, and it's 2nd down. You cannot cover any better than Jose Mosqueda just did right there.
Corey Schlegel did a really good job of putting pressure on him and hit him right as he threw the ball.
2nd down and 10 at the 29-yard line of Fort Morgan. The Mustangs with a 14-0 lead. Resurrection Christian and Brush on 10-10 KSLR. The Beat Diggers trail by 3 in the 4th quarter. On 2nd and 10 from the 29. Nobody's in that backfield. Here's an inside handoff to Polignot, running to his left. He's got a seam to the 25. Inside, back to the middle to the 17. 1st down. It's a gain of 12. And man, just good blocking there on the left side of the offensive line by Green Mountain.
First down on the 17.
Yeah, that counter back to the left has been working for him today as the clock continues to run.
Clock is not a factor. Way too much time in this game with 7:08 to go. Again in the red zone at the 17-yard line. Two receivers to the left and to the right at the 17. Wallace to throw. 5-step drop. No pressure. Over the middle. The pass is incomplete. Intended for Polignot at the 7-yard line. Wide of the target, defended by Fajardo and David Keller. Also around the football. Actually, that was McCoy. Keller was on the other side. 2nd and 10. Can you believe that Wheatley has thrown 4 fewer passes than Wallace? In a if it's 28-0, I see that.
Yep.
But in a 14-0 game, you'd have thought Fort Morgan would have aired it out more. But the wind is at Green Mountain's back here.
Yeah, he's still off target though. Those passes aren't being affected by the wind as hard as he's throwing them.
On 2nd down and 10, DeGrazia is in motion to the right. Handoff. Sanchez to the 15, and that's it. As he tried to run behind his right guard. And Colin Duckworth, who's had an excellent game, was in there along with, looks like, Paxton. And nope. Yep, and Christopher Morales is checking out. 3rd and 8 to go. This is where Fort Morgan's defense has come up big the entire game. Not part of the game, the entire game. Green Mountain right up to the line of scrimmage. Trips to the left, also known as 3 receivers to the left. 2 to the right, naked backfield. 3rd and 8. Pass out in the left flat is overthrown to DeGrazia. And you know what happened there? Marquez was right on top of DeGrazia. He makes that catch. Kevin, I didn't see open field for him there with that defensive by Marquez.
I think Marquez would have delivered a blow right as he came down with that ball, and would have been 4th and 8 at that point instead of 4th and 8.
Remember when Wallace was 6 of 7? Now he's 1 out of his last 5 for 3 yards. So Fort Morgan has adjusted. And now this is another 4th down situation. 4th down. And 8 to go for the Mustang 15. This could be the ball game. If Fort Morgan stops them, I don't see Green Mountain coming back here midway through quarter number 4. 2 receivers to the left and to the right. Awaiting the snap is Wallace. The Mustangs are coming on a blitz, it looks like. They are. Back to throw Wallace. Pressure coming from the right side. He'll take off. He'll throw along the side. Intercepted by Marquez at the 3-yard line. And there's a flag down, a late flag. And that's going to be a face mask by Green Mountain off the interception. 2nd INT by the Mustang defense. And they take over after another tremendous play.
Yeah, they just don't give in. I mean, they don't give up. I think they march down the field, and then it just gets real tough for any opponent inside the 20.
It'll be a 5-yard face mask off the interception. Now here's the deal. Fort Morgan lost field position if Marquez knocks that down, but you don't want to take a chance. You don't want that ball to be deflected. Just catch the thing. They didn't lose that much field position.
5-yard penalty.
So they have it just outside their own 10-yard line. Man, I am smelling a huge play by Fort Morgan here. I've seen this so many times. The football will be, just outside the 10. 6:02 to go in the game. Fort Morgan 14, Green Mountain nothing. Yeah, they got to break one off here. Just past the top of the hour, 3:01 Mountain Time. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. This is KPRB Brush, Fort Morgan, Morgan County's B106. Fajardo's in motion to the right. There's the handoff to Ortega, stutter stepping across the 10 to the 15. All right, it's a solid gain of, we'll call it 4. I think that ball's closer to the 11. So 2nd down and 6. Frank Ortega with his 15th carry of the game. His yardage looks pretty good because of that first carry. And he is up now to 101 yards in the game.
5.5 minutes left.
On 2nd down and 6 to go. Shotgun formation, Ortega to the left of the quarterback. He's got the handoff up the middle. Man, the hole closed quickly. Got a yard to the 16. And there's a timeout called by Green Mountain. Their 2nd, Austin Contreras.
Timeout, Green Mountain.
a sophomore at 6'1", 190, made the hit. Third down and about 5 to go. Because of that second timeout, now that really creates the urgency for Green Mountain to stop Fort Morgan. If not, they can chew up another 2 minutes.
Yep. You want to be able to save those if at all possible, but they apparently thought they needed it at that time to continue on.
Yep, without a doubt.
So then next week we would play Frederick, and we would have them here, or
Yes.
do we have to toss a coin?
I think we mentioned that twice on the air, but again, we don't listen to each other at all.
Yeah, because they
No,
don't.
it's home field. You know, it's home. It's higher seed and
if everything is even,
right.
higher
Okay.
seed gets
Yeah,
it.
it's okay, Kevin.
Because it's not the way it is in six-man.
No.
Obviously,
No.
number one Shinewell's going up to.
They play
Prairie.
a different game in 6-man, Kevin.
Well, a lot
They go
fewer
first
players.
and 15.
That's true.
They do that. Anyway,
Yeah, as long as everything is even, the higher
Yeah.
seed gets the home field.
it's all right.
So what level does that end at?
That goes all the way down, I believe, from 2A through 5A. But that's a good question. But we did mention they would play Frederick here.
Yes,
I'm not scolding you. I'm just
No,
I'm just
that's
being
fine.
me.
I just wanted to make sure the fans out there knew.
Oh
exactly
no,
where the
no,
game
yeah,
is gonna
no.
be.
We did clarify it'll be here next week. Wheatley back to throw on the 3rd and 5. Out to his left. Complete to Fajardo. He breaks it up a tackle. 25-yard line along the sideline. Tackle from behind. And there's a late flag. That's going to be against Chase Redding. But it's a first down. That ball was at the 16-yard line. Now to the 37. Let's give him 21. It's 21 either way. But Redding did commit a foul there. A penalty. Fajardo with a nice catch and run. It'll still be a first down because that flag was thrown at the 43-yard line. So they should probably walk it off at the end of the play.
Holding just 10 yards.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be end of the play.
Yeah, no need for that to
No.
happen.
it's been a little chippy between the wide receivers and the D-backs both ways. As the game's gone on.
See, and I'm still wondering, Kevin, was it chippy when the defender got hurt for early in the game when Marquez and him were out there? Because I didn't see any contact. I have no idea.
Well, I don't think a block would have injured his hand. He had to have done that when he fell.
Yeah, exactly. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. The Mustangs now are putting Green Mountain in a very tough position with only one timeout. Fajardo's in motion to the right, handoff Ortega, and he's swallowed up in the backfield. A loss of a couple.
Number 26, Frank Ortega on the carry.
That takes him now under 100 yards, or maybe at 100 even.
5-yard line.
2nd down and 12 to go. Yeah, they did away, but I'm glad you brought that up. They did away in the upper classifications with that coin toss, which are honestly, in the upper classifications, that coin toss is a stupid rule. If you're the higher seed, you should play at home as long as the number of home playoff games is the same. I don't know why they ever did it the other way. Makes no sense. If you are the higher seed, you should have home field advantage. There's no other reason. That was the stupidest rule. I don't know why they ever had that before for the upper classification. There's the option right. Wheatley will pitch it right to Fajardo, but he cannot get around it. He actually breaks a couple of tackles, but he still is going to take a loss. This defense by Green Mountain has been outstanding all day long, a loss of 2.
Yard loss on the play, third down.
One little wrinkle there that we haven't seen before, where the Briggs ran to the right side and then option and pitched out.
Well, the line to make is the 36. It's 3rd down and 13 for the 23. The only good news is that we're down to 3:18 to go in the game in Fort Morgan, with a 14-0 lead over Green Mountain. Kevin got me all fired up on that home advantage. That's my fault. I got to be disciplined. What is wrong with me? Trips to the left. Wheatley is going to take off on the draw. Breaks out of one tackle, but not a second, and he's on the ground at the 25. There's the final timeout. It's a pickup of 2,
Stopped at the
and that'll be it. Green Mountain, with 2:58 to go, is out of timeouts. They'll get the football as Fort Morgan will have to punt. But now the bigger concern
by the Rams.
is going to be the snap.
Yep. Yeah, that's really been the first bad snap we've seen all year.
Right. But you know what? In the playoffs, everything changes. Everything changes. I don't know why, but how about Brush? A minute to go. They lead Resurrection Christian 21-17.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Come on, Brush.
If they win, is that a food feast moment?
Well, for the people in Brush, it certainly is.
No. I mean, I called so many of their games.
That's true. You are you're like a Brush alumni.
Yeah, well, because when I got the assignment here in Colorado in 1998 when I was hired, I said, that's where you're calling games, even though I lived here. And then, my daughter and son graduated from here. My daughter in 2011, my son earlier this year. And once my son became a high school athlete, obviously I crashed the party. You guys had a great thing going till I spoiled it. Chase Redding standing at his own 10-yard line. They're bringing the house here. 9 up to the line of scrimmage. Got to get it off, and he gets off a nice swirling punt. It'll land at about the 48-yard line, take a Mustang hop, and down at the 44. And it only goes for 32 yards, but that's one of the best plays Fort Morgan has made in the entire game.
Right, because if you kick a line drive, then they're going to get a return, and you never know what happens on that. So I think that was a good play to put it up there. You lose maybe a little bit of yards, hope for a bounce, and they certainly aren't going to run it back.
1st and 10 at the 44. No timeouts. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the game. We'll have the Morgan Community College post-game show with myself and Brian. Well, Brian and Kevin will be here. I'll still be here if Kevin doesn't, if it doesn't bop me over the head. Well, I
think you're safe.
Thank goodness.
I think.
I don't know. 1st and 10 from the 44. There's the perfect snap, and now Wallace off the handoff will throw on the run up the right side. It's incomplete. Mosqueda defending at the 27-yard line. That was actually a direct snap to another Green Mountain player, even though Wallace threw it. And it was intended for Jack Harper.
That almost worked for him.
If that had been a good pass, if he'd have let him out there, he'd have been in because he had beat Mosqueda. But as it is, it's 2nd and 10.
1 out of his last 7 for 3 yards and an interception. That's part of the problem.
Yep.
Yeah, they were in that rhythm, but they're not a passing team, and at some point, it catches up to you. 2nd down and 10 at the 44-yard line for Green Mountain. Fort Morgan leads 14-0. Wallace with a 3-step drop now rolls out to his right. Plenty of time. Throws along the sideline. Incomplete.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was not even close at the 26-yard line. There were 3 Mustangs out there. The intended receiver was Austin Contreras. It would have been complete with a perfect pass, though.
Yeah, but he hasn't thrown anything close to a perfect pass today. So we'll see what they're surely going to come out and try to pass it again. Maybe they'll put some type of a little flea flicker into it or something.
Yeah. Well, some trickery. Like I said, they tried a hook and ladder twice last week with Basalt against Brush, and it worked twice. Yeah, you need something. Statue of Liberty, flea flicker, hook and ladder, something. If you run conventional plays, it's not working. 3rd and 10 from the 44. There's the direct snap, and now Wallace to throw. He's looking across the side. He's going to take a sack. Now he kind of flips the ball, but that should not be an incomplete pass. That's going to be a sack, and well defended by Fort Morgan back at the 39. That's the call. And that's a great play by Corey Schlegel. 4th down and 15. And this is it. This will be the game. Fort Morgan will go into victory formation if Green Mountain is stopped. 2:06 to go in the game, so they can go into victory formation if they don't pick up this first down on a 4th and 15 at their own 39. And the Bead Diggers have defeated Resurrection Christian 21-17. They'll be at Severance in the state semis in 2A, and the right tackle moved for Green Mountain. How about that? Tyler Carmen had that call on 1010 KSIR. Ron Albo was under the weather today, more than under the weather, unable to join him. But the Bead Diggers will travel to Severance, assuming they held on. Well, what a big victory for the Brush program. What a huge win. A huge win for that program. They were down 3 times in that game. On 4th and 20, back to throw. Stepping up is Wallace. Deep up the middle. That could be picked off, and it's knocked down by Ortega at the 26-yard line. That's all he had to do. Why intercept it? Because you're going to lose a lot of field position, and the Fort Morgan Mustangs will take over on downs, and that defense really held down the passing game as Zach Wallace, on his last 7 attempts, was 1 out of 7 for 3 yards. Actually, in his last 9, that's what I meant. 1 out of 9 for 3 yards. 0 out of his last 7 with an interception.
And certainly another, you could almost count that other one, last one as an interception. Frank, very smart, just lets it drop.
Yep. They'll take on Frederick here on hopefully Saturday at 1 o'clock. There's a kneel down by Wheatley at the 35-yard line of Green Mountain. We'll have our post-game show coming up momentarily as both Morgan County teams win today. The Bead Diggers in 2A in the state quarters over Resurrection Christian 21-17, and Fort Morgan in 3A over Green Mountain. But they're 1 round behind in 3A through 5A, so the Mustangs in the quarterfinals. But we do know, we'll get confirmation on this, that Brush, well, it started the 4th quarter, Severance up by 16, but they're on the road. So that should be Brush at Severance, a 7 going to a 6. There's another kneel down by Briggs Wheatley. 1 more and this game will be final. And there it is. The final score in this opening round Class 3A state tournament game from Legion Field. Fort Morgan 14, Green Mountain nothing. It's a 2-minute break. We'll wrap it up after this on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back with Brian Nichol and Kevin Rohde. The Mustangs win this opening round 3A state tournament playoff game by a score of 14-0 as the 3 knocks off the 14. They beat the Green Mountain Rams with 2 touchdowns, a 1-yarder by Wheatley here in the opening quarter, and then a 5-yarder by Frank Ortega. Mustang postgame show is brought to you by Morgan Community College, here to make your dreams become a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out at morgancc.edu. Well, not a bad performance here for Green Mountain. 228 yards of total offense, but Zach Wallace struggled down the stretch throwing. At one point, he was 3 out of 4 for 46 yards, but then he ends the game 7 out of 17 through the air for 75 yards and 2 interceptions. That was the key. The Mustangs were +2 in the turnover category. Looking at Fort Morgan offensively, 17 carries for 100 yards for Frank Ortega. But again, you're talking 36 yards through the air, and that was it. Fajardo had 5 yards on 3 carries because of a big loss. And Wheatley, who normally goes off for quite a bit, had just 40 yards in the game. So essentially, Fort Morgan had 187 yards, unofficially 41 fewer yards than Green Mountain. Kevin's got to get a heck of a lot better next week.
Yeah, I think kudos to Green Mountain. Bounce back from that 63-point loss to Lutheran last week and come out here and play with a lot of spirit and a lot of pride. And, without those 2 turnovers, how's this game turn out? You usually think of a turnover as some points, so maybe be even closer. I just think Fort Morgan is going to have to refocus and get ready because Frederick's for real. And Frederick will come in here and play smash mouth. But, we respond better to that sort of team. So
I mean, it seemed, Brian, that Green Mountain had more scoring opportunities in this game.
Oh, yeah, they had it down to, it was 1st and goal at the 2-yard line and ended up being 4th and goal at the 16 and didn't get in. So, they had the opportunities, they had the chances there, but the Mustang defense, once again, get down inside the 20 and they hold. But yeah, as Kevin said, a good job by Green Mountain to come in here and play a great game against Fort Morgan. But came up a little bit short.
And again, the last time we had a feeling like this was just 3 weeks ago. When you're up by 23 on Northridge, you only win by 3, but then they really stomped on Holy Family. That was a solid performance by the Mustangs, scoring almost 50 points. A team that beat Green Mountain 28-6. So you figure, I mean, there are ways, or 28-7, whatever the score was, there are ways for Fort Morgan to respond, and we have not seen them play, at least in my estimation, 2 so-so games back-to-back. In fact, you look at this 4-game home winning streak. Well, not the winning streak. It's a 3-game home winning streak because they lost to Roosevelt. But you look at Roosevelt, Northridge, Holy Family, and then Green Mountain. An argument could be made that the strongest of the 4 games they played was the loss to Roosevelt.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that game against Roosevelt was probably the only time this season that we saw the true potential, that they lived up to their true potential as a team.
You're right.
As a solid performance, because we've seen some flashes of brilliance here, there. Scotts Bluff's a good team, and they went up there. Long drive, had to go twice, still won. Brush obviously is a semifinalist in 2A, division below, but still a good team. But that Roosevelt game was just solid and complete.
Yeah, and they're going to have to bring that effort next week because right now Fort Morgan is a 3 seed. But I have to tell you, they don't feel like a 3 seed after this game. They feel more like a 7 or 8 seed.
Yeah, not the way they were playing today, but I think Kevin had mentioned it earlier. They seem to do that when they have a team that they should beat. They just don't bring I'm not going to say the effort, the focus. They don't bring the focus to the game. Next week, Frederick is going to be a much better team. They'll have good practice this week, and I think they'll be ready next Saturday. I presume next Saturday for the game against Frederick.
If football is played between the 20s, we would be talking about a loss right now.
Yeah.
But since you have to play in a 100-yard field, that's why Fort Morgan was able to win this game 14-0. They moved to 9-1 on the season, and they will play right here against the 6-seed Frederick. The one thing we don't know, is it going to be a 1 o'clock Saturday game? It should be. Sometimes they shuffle things around. The entire 5A schedule was played last night. Most of 4A and half of 3A was played last night. So we cannot assume, even though that's the object is to play a Saturday 1 o'clock game, that it will be Saturday at 1 o'clock. But it will be here. The 3rd seed Fort Morgan against number 6 Frederick. Keep in mind that coming up in 8 minutes, you know what's coming up in 8 minutes on B106?
The Colorado Preps show.
Scoreboard show
With Kevin.
with Kevin Schaefer. There you go.
Right.
Yeah, no, I had to go for the last name because
That was
Kevin could hold his own in this show. Our own Kevin, but
That's right.
you know,
Mr. Schaefer.
well, yeah.
Does a great job with that program.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic, fantastic. Colorado Prep Scoreboard show coming up. Plenty of coaches interviews, and that'll be from 3:30 to 5 o'clock right here on B106. It'll also be on 1010 KSIR. I'm sure I can tell you one coach that'll be interviewed. That's Brush's Lance Schwint. Kevin.
That was my thought. It's going to be interesting to hear what Lance has to say after that win. Because he'll be a little hoarse because I'm sure he's celebrating right now.
Well, you know, they were down 10-7, down 17-14, but they win 21-17 over Resurrection Christian. So they will play Severance in Severance coming up next weekend in the 2A semifinals. The Mustangs are off to the 3A quarterfinals. Along with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde, I'm John Beltran. The final score from Legion Field on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. Fort Morgan 14, Green Mountain nothing on B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.